All right, everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. My name is Matt, and I'm joined today by Steve for the watch-along for Manchester City versus Newcastle United. We'll be talking all things Newcastle before kick-off at 4:30, and of course, we'll be here to keep you company all the way through to the final whistle and beyond. But before we get started, a quick word from our sponsors over at OneFootball.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. We are pausing the video there to tell you about our sponsors today, who are OneFootball. OneFootball is the best app out there, it really is. We use it when we're at the games. We use it also when we're on live streams because it has up-to-date pings, tells you when Newcastle have scored, tells you about incidents during the game, and it also you can check the app for all the stats about the games. But even better, you know what it's like over the summer. It's going to be ram-packed with transfer rumours. OneFootball puts all of the articles across the web into one place for you. Download it. It's free. The link is in the description.
Like Lee says, link is in the description. Get it downloaded. I've been using it this morning to keep across all the goals going in across the Premier League because that has been a lot of goals today, Steve. First of all, how are you doing? You excited for today's game?
No, not at all. I think it's going to be an absolute beatdown. I just hope it doesn't go past 4. I don't know. The thing with Man City is like it just seems like their mentality in the Champions League isn't the same as the other competitions they play in for whatever reason. They know how to destroy you in the Prem and in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. They didn't win it this year, but they're a different side when it comes to Prem. So,
we played Liverpool last week, and obviously it was only 1-0, decent performance, and they're obviously challenging City for the title. Does that not give you the kind of hope that we can put in a better performance today and maybe keep it down to less than 4-0, like we obviously 4-0 earlier in the season, but we'll take a look at the lineup we started with that day compared to what we've got today a bit later in the show. But are you not a little bit more confident than off the back of the last result anyway?
Well, I mean, both results, to be fair, for both sides could give you some encouragement. I'm setting the bar low just so that I'm not disappointed over something that should be a walkover. I remember Man City, I think a few weeks ago, I think midweek they played Brighton and it was 0-0 at halftime. But even then, I think Man City won that game 3-4-0. And so that's the problem, I think. Like, even if we take it 0-0, that's much better than conceding, don't get me wrong, but I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah.
All I can ask for is that the guys give 100% and that, I don't want us giving them goals to just tap in the net or make it as hard as possible. They've got a quality starting 11 and squad. It's world class. There's no doubt in my mind about that, but make them earn it. I think one thing that's going to be crucial today, just like last week against Liverpool, is we're going to have a lot of tactical fouls. We're going to have to make sure that the momentum in the game is not, it's never consistent so that Man City can't ever get into a groove. Mm-hmm. Because when they get into that, you're at their mercy. One thing I am encouraged about, though, is that they've been missing a lot of chances lately. I mean, look at the Real Madrid Man City first leg. They could have won that game 6, 8, 7. Pick a big number, and they could have had that. Yeah. So, and then the second leg in Madrid, it was also they had chances. They really did. Madrid were down and out. So,
yeah,
that is one thing that I'm kind of hopeful about. But I do kind of expect us to get smacked around. But
well, hopefully not. Anyway, I mean, there's an exciting 90 minutes coming up in about 25 minutes time till kickoff. Welcome to everyone on the watch along. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget, this is an interactive show. Get involved in the comments down below. Let us know your thoughts before the games. We will have the score predictions a bit later on once we've gone through the lineups, etc. But Andy, just hope by the time Wilson and Trippier come on, we are still in the game, like 1 down, for example. Yeah. I mean, I was at the last game against Man City, the 4-0 loss, and we just threw it away. The defending was abysmal that day. And, we know Man City are a good team, but we gifted them at least 2 of those goals. So, we can't be making silly mistakes like that. And obviously, we've got a different we don't have a different manager. I think Eddie, I'm not sure who was in charge that day, but we definitely have a different starting lineup because we'll come on to that shortly. But yeah, let us know your score predictions down in the comments down below already, and we'll get back to them later in the show. So we'll move on to the starting lineups pretty early because there's a fair bit to talk about, Steve. I'll see if I can quickly share my screen here. So this wonderful software that we used last time I was here against Leicester. And of course, it's not going to let me do it. So I'm going to leave again. I'll leave you to entertain the wonderful people for a couple of minutes while I sort it out. But yeah, 4-0 last time out, Steve. I'll leave you with a question. Is it going to be a better performance and a better scoreline than the last 4-0? And on that note, goodbye.
See you, man. See you in a bit. Okay, is it going to be a better performance? I don't know, really. I think Man City at home are pretty much untouchable. Them and Liverpool only have 2 losses this year combined. But I don't know, man. I don't want to get walloped today. I don't know, man. I'm just I'm excited for the fact that we might sneak a win, and that'll be. I mean, if we sneak a win, guys. I mean, there's not much left in this, but that is going down. I'm drinking that. I'll drink the whole fucking bottle of this, man. I will get absolutely pissed off my ass if we if we win this or even a point. That's a big statement of intent, but I think it'll probably be about the same. Probably about the same. Maybe a little better because we do have Bruno and that they did just lose to Real Madrid in that horrific collapse. So I would say it'll be about the same.
Fingers crossed hopefully there's some optimists in the comments. Fingers crossed it's not going to be as bad as that. But yeah, we'll like I said before I disappeared, we are going to move on to the starting lineups now. We'll start with obviously Newcastle United. Yeah. I think everyone can see that screen. We'll take off this layer. Lovely. So this is how we're lining up today. Obviously I've put the positions in myself, but obviously Emil Kraft starting at right back, Martin Dubravka in goal. Obviously they're kind of nailed on. Only a couple of changes today. Fabian Schar drops to the bench. Jamal Lascelles comes in. Then obviously Dan Burn and Matt Targett keeping their place has been very solid over recent weeks. Then a midfield 3 of Sean Longstaff, Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes. Joe Willock and John Joe Shelby not anywhere in the matchday squad, which is interesting. I'm not sure if there's any particular reasoning behind that, but they're not on the bench. And so we are stuck. Well, I say stuck. The 3 very good midfielders. We have a midfield of Longstaff, Joe Linton, and Bruno Guimaraes in there. And then the front 3, Chris Wood returns to the starting 11, having an actual focal point this week against Manchester City. And then Alan Saint-Maximin and Almiron, the other 2 wide players in there. Steve, obviously a couple of changes in there. Were you expecting that kind of rotation after such a good performance last week?
Yeah, I would say I would say so because I think with Man City you gotta. One thing I am a bit not bummed out about, but I would have rather have seen Eddie try to do is bench ASM, just because I think that if we are to get a point today, I would have rather seen him come off as a sub. I like that Miggy's in there because no doubt about it, Miggy will be tracking and running. He'll cover plenty of ground. His work rate is, completely unmatched. It's unquestionable. We know what we'll get, right? With ASM, it's not that. And he doesn't have the goals and assists to justify why he's, his behavior, both on and off the pitch to an extent, I guess. But, I I think the lineup is probably the best you could do. I'm guessing that Willock and Shelby just aren't match fit. Maybe they picked up a knock or something, but
yeah,
I'm thinking it's more of an injury where they don't want to risk it because obviously Trippier and Wilson are back on the bench, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's another thing we're going to talk about as well. Trippier and Wilson both match fit apparently, or fit enough to be on the bench at the very least. So I'd imagine we see one, if not both of them, towards the latter stages of today's game. The rest of the bench summed up: Carl Darlow, Paul Dummett, Fabian Schar, Matt Ritchie, Javier Manquillo, Jacob Murphy, and Dwight Gale, the other members of the bench, as well as, of course, Trippier and Wilson. So you mentioned Saint-Maximin there a little bit earlier in the week. The news kind of broke. There was these quotes floating around Twitter that along the lines of basically, if I had better players in front of me, I'd be getting a lot more assists. And he's since come out and said, these quotes were taken out of context. They were shortened. They were basically twisted his words. So this is the official quote from him on those statements. So the quotes didn't come across in the way I meant. He was concerned. Oh, sorry, this is Eddie Howe on Alan Saint-Maximin's quote. Sorry. The quotes didn't come across in the way he meant. He was concerned, came to see me, and didn't mean to damage the team and the unity we've built. I'll be speaking with the squad to make sure there's no fallout from that. Clearly not a lot of fallout. He's still in the starting lineup today. Interesting comments to make, regardless whether they were taken out of context, Steve, because he kind of justified it by saying, we can with better players, we can go so far together. But you don't say that in public. It's a strange thing for him to come out with, isn't it?
It is, and to be honest, I don't think if he went to a Liverpool or something, I'm not convinced that he would be playing all that often. Yeah. I don't think he would get in the squad over Minamino at times, and he barely plays. That's the problem with ASM. It's all well and good saying, it's out of context and stuff, but the problem with me is actions speak louder than words. I believe that, at least. Sometimes the way he plays, it shows that what he said, his actions spoke louder than words. The way he's playing, he's trying to play hero ball all the time, like under Bruce. So I think he's got to be careful. And to be honest, if he puts in a blistering performance today, all is forgiven. To be fair, even if we lose, if he scores a goal, assist, if he's got to. That's the way you can. No matter what you do, on or off the pitch, if you start performing for your side, and if you're a winger and your fans want more goals and consistent performances out of you, you deliver that, because that's what fans want. At the end of the day, that's what I want out of ASM, because I love ASM. Newcastle fans, we love him. Yeah. How I see it is like if you're a father of your son and you're disappointed because he could do better. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Some people say you're being harsh on him, but to me, it's like, well, I know you can do better, so that's why I'm being so harsh on you.
Yeah. We can see where he is and we can see where he could be, and we just want the best for him. And I understand exactly where he comes from. I feel the same way. Let us know in the comments down below what you made of his comments, what you make of him as a player, because at the end of the day, stats on paper, he contributes the most going forward for us in this team. He is our main creator.
Progressive carries, if you look at the underlying stats too.
Yeah. So he's undoubtedly crucial to our success this season, but he can be frustrating at times. And I've said this, I think I got frustrated in the last watch long, and I was having to go at him because he doesn't trust his teammates from time to time. He doesn't trust the players around him. We need to see a bit more of that from him. We'll move on from Saint-Maximin, because I'm sure we'll talk about a lot about him during the course of this watch long. So we'll move on. But do let us know in the comments down below what you made of those comments.
Thank you, Reluctant Gamer.
Favorite commentators on the channel, love that from you. We're here all the way through the match, and then we'll be on a separate video scoring the players and the live fan reaction as well. So
not bad for an American, one of her favorites, eh? There we go.
Not bad at all. But so I got another one of the changes is Sean Longstaff in the side. Eddie Howe's talked about a few players in his press conference this week, and this is what he had to say on Sean Longstaff. He says, hope we can get a positive resolution with Sean regarding his contract situation. Hopefully that one's moving quite well and in the right direction. But obviously, until he's signed the contract, he can't say for definite on whether he will stay or go in the summer. obviously Eddie Howe trusts him. He's chucked him in against arguably the best team in the league. He'll be starting in that midfield. I mean, there is no debate. It is probably the best midfield in the league, if not the world. You got Kevin De Bruyne alone is enough to take on those three in the middle. He's chucked him in. He clearly trusts him, Steve. So I'd imagine in the next few weeks we'll see an announcement saying, Sean Longstaff has at least signed an extension on his current contract, much like Fabian Schar did earlier.
And same with Dummett too. He was extended. For me, same thing with ASM applies with Longstaff too. We know he's got some ability, but it's about we just want to see you perform, man. At the end of the day, and especially and also with ASM, you could also look at it like, well, Longstaff's a local lad, so we're kind of local Newcastle fans are already kind of trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. They want to see a local lad in the team. That's what any fan base, regardless of the club, you want to see guys from your town being promoted to the academy and being a superstar. That's the stuff that fans want to see. So we give him a lot more patience, I would say is the word then with ASM, I would say, just because while he's a local lad, we're invested in him essentially. It's not that ASM is bad because he's French or whatever. It's different. It's different. I'll say that much. It's just a different type of, So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I understand that. And he'll have a tough task today against that midfield of Man City, like we mentioned. Yeah, and what Eddie Howe has to think about Man City, obviously, he knows his opponents well. He does a lot of research. He's saying the title race can go both ways. It can both emotionally affect them in a positive and negative way. We have to prepare for the best Man City we can face, so we need to be the best Newcastle we can be. We need more intensity than last week. That's for sure. So obviously referring to the game against Liverpool where we narrowly lost 1-0. And then obviously on the preparations for this week, from our perspective, we will 100% prepare for the best Man City, so we'll have to be the best, like we just said. We've had the intensity consistently for the last 2 or 3 months, and that's why we didn't get the We've had the intensity consistently for the last 2-3 months, and that's why we didn't get the result we wanted against Liverpool. I think if we can add that back into our game on Sunday, hopefully we can put in a good performance. And like you mentioned earlier, it's not necessarily about the result today, Steve. It's about the performance. This is probably the biggest test that we will face this year. And if looking forward to next season, if we do want to finish higher up than where we are, potentially top half of the table, some people dreaming of a European finish, we have to hold our own against teams like Man City because they are the benchmark. They are the standard. We have to be the best we can be to go toe to toe with them, don't we?
Yeah, and also when you play a side that's much better than you, they make you better. Competition and stuff like that. It brings you to that next level because you have to. Otherwise, you're just not up for it, and you're going to get sold. So it's very important to. It's a litmus test, I would say. It's which guys. I don't think Bruno will have a shocker today. Matt Target, but like Longstaff, show me what you're worth. Why should we get you a new contract and stuff like that?
Exactly. I mean, Chris Wood back in the starting lineup today. I've just got the coverage on to my right watching the game, and I've just seen a little stat pop up for Chris Wood. He has the most equal most headed shots on target this season. He's won the most aerial duels out of anyone and the most flick-ons out of anyone in the league as well. So he will be essential to holding up the ball and relieving some of the pressure against Manchester City for Newcastle today. Before we get on to Manchester City's team, I just wanted to quickly share the side that we started against Manchester City earlier in the season. Because to me, it's quite funny to look how far we've come. Because if you look at this lineup now, your fullbacks to start with, you've got Jacob Murphy as your right back and Matt Ritchie as your left back. You've got Kieran Clark starting alongside Jamal Lascelles, and then Hayden, who's not even in the 25-man squad, Willock, who's not in the squad today, Fraser obviously out injured, and Wilson coming back from injury today. Jeff Hendrick coming off the bench in that game. It's a pretty similar Manchester City side, like we'll get onto very shortly, but it just shows the progression in some of the individuals that have come out of nowhere or that have put in better performances consistently to earn their place in the team, Steve, and how we've developed over the season from that team to the team we're going to see today?
Yeah, that was only a few months ago, and some of those guys just aren't involved with the team anymore. Hendrick's on loan at QPR, and Richie doesn't get much time at all. I'm sure Eddie likes Richie as a guy for the locker room and stuff like that in terms of experience and, talking with young players, being a model professional, because that is what Richie is. And that's invaluable. Guys like that, they're necessities that you need in successful teams. Like Scott Carson, he doesn't play for Man City. I don't think he ever had, maybe once, but he's best buddies with Ederson, and he's a good guy for the locker room. So you need guys that are content and that are happy. Or I was talking with Andy earlier or yesterday about Dummett getting extended. I like that. I said to him, it's not a sexy signing. It's kind of like one of those adult purchases that, it's going to cost, it costs you money, but you have to fix your roof or you have to get a repair on your bang average car, but you need to do it. You need to do it because it's practical. And that's what Dummett would be, because he's content with not starting every game, and he's not a guy that's going to be disrupting the locker room and stuff. So that's the kind of guys we want around, in my opinion. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let us know in the comments down below what you make of today's lineup for Newcastle. Are you happy with that team? Would you have liked to see anyone else start that isn't starting today? If you've got any insider knowledge on Joe Willock and John Joe Shelby, please let us know. But the main headlines really are Chris Wood back in the team for a focal point, and Kieran Trippier and Callum Wilson both back on the bench for Newcastle, which is great for the rest of the season, if not today alone. Quick look at how Manchester City line up, because there are two teams playing today, believe it or not, not just Newcastle. So Manchester City, obviously a wealth of riches in their team on display from front to back. So we'll have a quick look how they look to line up against us. So both teams on the pitch. Kyle Walker obviously picking up an injury mid-week in the Champions League. So Cancelo getting a rare start at right back as opposed to left back. Alexander Zinchenko in at left back, and a midfield three of Rodri, Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, and a front three of Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. Grealish and Sterling being recalled to the starting lineup, and no need to mention Laporte and Diaz at the back. They're just majestic in their own right. So it's going to be a tough game, Steve. We already know that. But who in that starting lineup for you is the main danger man for Man City?
Take your pick. I think today it's going to be Gundogan, because all eyes are going to be on De Bruyne, and Gundogan I think did pretty well against Real Madrid. He's one of the only players that could hold his head up high, be like, I did my job. I would say Gundogan, just because he's not one of the players that you're going to be like, we got to make sure to look like De Bruyne is going to be that guy where it's like Eddie's telling him, double up on him, make sure no one gets can't have an inch of freedom and stuff like that. I would say Gundogan, just because he can go forward, contributes defensively. I think Gundogan's going to be big time for them today, but we'll have to see. Jesus too, Gabriel Jesus. I mean, he's fighting for his spot in the squad because they're signing Julian Alvarez from River Plate's a very good youngster. And Erling Haaland is heavily linked with them. So he might, he might be, on the move to somewhere else. So seems like he wants to stay there based off his recent performances, 4 goals against Watford and 2 against Real Madrid or 1. He's been fantastic for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
considering he was second fiddle for Aguero for so long, and he doesn't really get the minutes that he deserves in this Man City team at the moment. They prefer to play with like a false 9 You know, there's been so many players that have played in that position. You know, Sterling has played it. I think De Bruyne has even played it at some point this season. So yeah, he hasn't got many chances in the team this year. However, he has got the second most combined goals and assists in the Premier League in this Man City team, second only to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne with 17 goals and assists this season. Gabriel Jesus with 16, joint with Mahrez there on 16 as well. So when he gets his opportunity, he will shine, and he is a danger man, as we know. So yeah,
Raheem Sterling, I think, and something I just want to say about Raheem Sterling, I think he's a very good player, but I fear him more as an England international than when he plays for City. Don't get me wrong, he's a very good player for Man City, but just seems like with England, I fear him much more than I do against. He's, like I said, he's not a bad player by any means. So he might score against us today. I wouldn't doubt it, but.
No. I mean, he, like you say, he always plays fantastically for his country, but he is actually on 10 goals in the Premier League this season, kind of flown under the radar a bit. De Bruyne and Mahrez are the top scorers, joint with 11, and then Sterling on 10. So hopefully they'll stay on those numbers after today, because we want to keep a clean sheet ideally, but that's a very rare occurrence for Man City. Man City have actually scored 3 or more goals in, if my research is correct, in 12 of their Premier League games this season, which is quite impressive. Obviously, one of them was against us last time.
That's about a third of their games. Yeah. They scored at least 3.
Roughly every one.
How many games have they scored 2? Exactly. How many times have they only scored 1 or 0? You know what I mean? They've won some games 1-0. They score. You gotta. To me, I don't see. Dubravka is going to have a worldie today to get a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Not that.
Yeah, and an interesting thing is, there's not just one man that does it for City. They're such a fluid team. Of the outfield players to play more than 900 minutes for them this season, which is 10 full games, only Kyle Walker is the only outfield player to yet score for Man City when they played minimum 10 games. So every single player in this starting 11 for Man City has scored at some point this season. So there's danger in every single thing they do. But for me, the real danger, as I'm sure you'll agree with, is down the wings. They're so good at using the fullbacks. We said this last time against Leicester City, and the way they use their fullbacks as well. Cancelo especially, he scored against us last time. He loves to get forward, not just down the wide channels, but floating into the midfield area as well, pulling teams apart from the inside out. And Gundogan and Rodri obviously do the defensive work, dropping in when they're needed to as well. And Zinchenko on the other side got an assist against us last time as well. So Kraft and Target are going to have some fantastic games today, as I'm sure we're all aware they're capable of having, but not all the time for Newcastle United. So we've picked out our danger men, Jesus and Gundogan for you. I think Kevin De Bruyne for me is obviously the main threat. Sean Longstaff and Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes are going to have a difficult job keeping him off the ball. Franklin, saying Kevin De Bruyne, he's a marksman, whether it's passing, shooting, he is absolutely pinpoint accurate with everything.
He always scores screamers against us too, it seems like, De Bruyne.
Yeah. And it's really, really frustrating. But yeah, speaking of...
There's nothing you can do about it either on those goals that he scores like that. There is legitimately nothing you can do.
No.
So yeah, he is going to be. Yeah, he's probably going to have a fantastic game. I'm just curious to see if they have a Champions League, if that's still in their heads. Like I said, I think they're a completely different team when they play in any other competition besides the UCL. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I mean, whenever City have lost a game, which isn't very often this year, they always come back fighting in the next game, and the next team that it has the unfortunate chance of playing against them, they always get pummeled. So hopefully we can buck that trend today. We mentioned the danger of Kevin De Bruyne. I thought it'd be nice to compare a couple of players before kickoff. We're about 2 minutes away from kickoff, so we might have to rush through this. But I thought we'd compare the 2 star midfielders, the one for each team, obviously, Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Guimaraes. Obviously, different players in their own right, but it's nice to have kind of visualize the stats that they've had. Obviously, Bruno's stats are for both Lyon and Newcastle United this season with 34 appearances there. But you can see the kind of strengths and weaknesses of each player. De Bruyne obviously clearly edging it in vision and their attacking play, because Bruno, before he joined Newcastle, I think he scored 1 goal all season.
He was never under Peter Bosch or or not Bruno Genesio. That was years ago. I forget who Leon's other manager was. Like I said, when we first got him, he's the pre-assist guy. He didn't get forward as often as he is now with Newcastle. Eddie Howe's using him more advanced, but he's still contributing going back. I think he's just.
If you look at this map in itself, Kevin De Bruyne obviously vision and attacking well out of this world for him. But in every other aggregated stat here, Bruno's just edging on the passing, just on the physical, quite far ahead in the defensive work, ahead in the defending and the dribbling as well. So as an all-rounder, he's bringing a lot to the play. Kevin De Bruyne obviously not having to do a lot of defending in that Man City team because he's surrounded by such excellent defensive players as well. But you can see the kind of contributions they have to the teams. Bruno Guimaraes, obviously, in recoveries, we know he's fantastic at recovering the ball. His work rate in this team is absolutely fantastic. And the tackles as well, obviously, outdoing Kevin De Bruyne in that aspect. But then we go to the shots on target and chances created, and Kevin De Bruyne absolutely runs away with it. So it's almost like the game today should complement both of those players. De Bruyne should be able to have a bit of time on the ball and attack, and Bruno should have the chance to stop him doing that. So it's interesting to see how those two match up with each other. There was one other player comparison as the game kicks off, with Newcastle kicking off the first half. There's one other player comparison that I wanted to do, but unfortunately, the players that I've compared are Alan Saint-Maximin and Riyad Mahrez, who isn't starting today. But because I just thought it was a very funny looking graph, because Alan Saint-Maximin is absolutely country miles ahead in terms of dribbling. But then Mahrez, you look at the contribution he makes to the team, the passing, the attacking stats, even the physical side of things. It's when you get down here that it really hits home. Alan Saint-Maximin is a large chunk of our attacking team, our attacking side. But then you look at the touches in the box and the shots, the actual end product for Mahrez compared to Saint-Maximin. And it just highlights where Saint-Maximin's kind of lacking. He can dribble to his heart's content. He can do that all he likes, but it's when it comes to offloading, 1 bar here on assists, 1 bar on the goals, 2 bars on the shots, 3 bars on touches in the opposition box. So he really needs to improve on that for me today. Again, but then you look at the team contributions and it's not going to pop up because it's not loaded. But basically I think Saint-Maximin had a hand in 15% of our attacking output this year, which is quite a large number, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll let you take this one. This question from Matthew.
And to answer Matthew, where did Bruno Guimaraes come from? So he was born in Rio de Janeiro, played for Atletico Paranaense, and he was bought by Lyon in He was a January signing in January 2020, I believe. And he played for Lyon ever since. So, and then, plays for Newcastle now, but came from Lyon. He definitely, on my radar, he didn't come out of nowhere. I've known the player for a few years now. So
yeah, he's been linked with a move to the Premier League for the last couple of years at the very least.
Yeah.
So it's nice that we were the ones to actually snap him up. Yeah, heading into this game, Man City obviously dropped to second place, with Liverpool picking a point up against Spurs last night. But obviously, if Man City equal that result or better it, then they will resume their position at the top of the Premier League. Meanwhile, we start the day in 13th, level on points with Brentford, who are ahead of us with a better goal difference. The same with Aston Villa, but Aston Villa have also played a game less than us as well. 1 point behind Crystal Palace and 4 points behind Brighton in 9th place, who had a very impressive result against Manchester United yesterday. Embarrassing, really, for Manchester United.
It's not embarrassing. It is embarrassing, but it's like, it's not the first time they got beat 4-1 by Watford. That team, they play like a bunch of guys who don't care.
Yeah.
There's so many, whether it's Stevie Nicol or Ali Moreno in the US, who both used to play at the professional level. Obviously, Stevie Nicol, Liverpool, won titles with them in European Cups. Like, these guys, or Roy Keane or whatever, they can tell when players are checked out mentally.
Yeah.
And they're all saying that about Man United, that they couldn't be asked.
Yeah. Game's about 3 minutes in here. I realize we've not really talked about it much, but we've had a decent start. We're getting on the ball well. We've had a couple of good forays into the opposition half. We're dominating the ball at the moment. City hitting us on the counter a couple of times, but no real opportunities for either side. Bruno Guimaraes sporting in an electric blonde haircut, I would describe it. He's dyed it like he's the most standout player on the pitch. He's almost shinier than Pep's head. He's interesting decision from him. But here comes Saint-Maximin on the left-hand side, pushed off the ball, and Gundogan will come away with it. Joe Linton dispossesses, but De Bruyne comes in. The opposition half, he's away from Sean Longstaff there, tug on the shirt, but City come away with it. Grealish on the left-hand side, lays it off for Sterling in the box. Good tackle. Can't tell who that is. I think that might have been Dan Burn making that challenge there.
To answer your question, Adam Bell, about do you think it's more likely than not that Paqueta from Lyon signs? I think that will be one of our signings, yeah. I would say so. Definitely. And that just shows how much of a signing Bruno Guimaraes was, because, you know, he put us on the map, and the connections established. That's what life's about, man. It's about who you know and what you can do with that. If you know someone and you can, you know, use your contacts to your best, that's where the top players go, and top people in the world, they have connections. So
Man City here have a free kick on the edge of our box. They've got the most set-piece goals this season to Man City. Kevin De Bruyne is going to strike it. He goes for goal, well wide of the post. Dubravka wasn't worried there, but that's the first shot of the game, I believe.
Yeah. Ismail M, if you would realistically want, who would you realistically want as manager after Eddie Howe? Difficult question to answer. I am going to entertain it though, because I follow European and to an extent, like world football. I try to be in the know about a lot of things, but I would say, well, what's your opinion, Matt? How long do you think Eddie Howe will be here at Newcastle?
It's difficult because when he first joined, I was, like, oh, he'll stay to the end of the season, maybe next season, and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
But then part of me is like, well, why would we want to get rid of him and replace him if he's got good results out of it? We've performed incredibly well this season. Yeah. And if he can do the same next season with a bit of investment, there's no reason why he can't be, like a generational manager. Like, I'm obviously this is an extreme comparison, but Arsene Wenger was at Arsenal for God knows how long because of the success he had with.
He came from Japan.
Yeah, and Arsenal were a fairly decent team before then, but he kind of built the dynasty that Arsenal have today. And why not? Why can Eddie Howe not be that man for Newcastle United? Obviously, it's a bit more volatile, the world of football today. The longest serving manager, I think, was Sean Dyche before he got sacked. But yeah, there's not a lot of loyalty in football anymore. So the second results start going wrong, the second you get a bad finish in the league, then you're gone, you're out the door.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Eddie Howe stay for 5+ years.
I think he'll win a trophy with us. I think I feel pretty good about saying that, because the whole, and I say this a lot on the channel and, or on Twitter or whatever, but like the reason why Eddie Howe for me why I'm so excited about him is because he took Bournemouth from League One on the brink of relegation and bankruptcy, had to pay players wages, and he was a player for them and then had to step in as manager. He got them to survive. Then he got them promoted to the championship, then got promoted to the Prem, first time in the club's history, and kept them there for 5 years in a 9,000 seat stadium with Bournemouth. So you could compare it like our version, Newcastle's version of League One was bottom of the Prem in January, and maybe we win the Premier League for the first time.
Here we go. Sorry, Steve. We've got a chance. Saint-Maximin. Oh, brilliant play. Brilliant play. We've still got the ball here, so his chance is still alive. Almiron on the right-hand side offloads it to Guimaraes. That was really nice play there to create a chance. Saint-Maximin's final ball just wasn't good enough, but it's a ball in. Chris Wood. Oh, good save. He should be really doing better with that, though.
That's 7:37. What the hell's going on? Okay, I'm seeing something, Bruno.
It was a great chance, created a great team move, finishing with Saint-Maximin.
ASM's got to do a little, I'll give ASM credit because he tried to pass, but
quality. Well, that's two, and you'll see yours in a second because you're a little bit behind, but he puts a lovely ball into the box for Chris Wood.
That is.
And that's wide open! He really should be doing better at the back post for me there, Chris Wood. But yeah, Saint-Maximin already can see an improvement in his distribution today. You know, he created that chance a second ago, and then the second chance. The second
that
chance.
onside too.
Yeah. Grealish just coming the other way now against Kraft, but he holds him up well.
Fucking damn it.
Grealish hasn't gone past Kraft once yet, I don't think. Oh, that's a nice ball in the box. Good defending by Dan Burn. It's a corner to Manchester City. And first corner of the game for them. Oh, that was a really nice move, though. Very well worked. It was patient play to get that first chance created. And then the second chance, Wood has to score for me.
If it's Rodrigo, who's a fucking foot shorter than him, that's going in the back. Like, that's disappointing.
Oh, my God. That was almost a goal for Man City. The ball comes into the box from the corner and nobody meets it. Laporte at the back post has a volley on the ground. That's how badly marked this corner was.
It should be 1-1.
That's
wow.
Dan Burn loses him. He got blocked off by Jesus. It's fair play. And Laporte should really score from there. That's 5-6 yards out. Well, bit 7 yards out on the volley on his strong foot. Should be putting that in the back of the net.
Who had the worst? Who had the worst miss?
Oh, Laporte, because it's like Chris Wood is leaning back a little bit. Go on, Sam Maximan's got the pace. He's round Cancelo. Ref hasn't. No, the ref has blown. It's a soft free kick to give away, but that Sam Maximan's playing well here. He's hungry for it. He hasn't got his headband on today, which is an interesting choice considering he is looking a bit sweaty already. Poor distribution from Ederson, though, and Newcastle have the ball back in the final third. Sean Longstaff turns inside out. He's not got many options on here. Does well to offload it to Kraft. Yeah, we've started brightly. Chris Wood should realistically have opened the scoring for us, but yeah, you're absolutely right, Adam. He does.
No. So you think Laporte's miss was worse?
I think Laporte's miss was only because he was completely unmarked. It's on his strong foot, and he's closer in on the goal than Chris Wood was.
To counterpoint that, though, for argument's sake, that was a bouncing ball.
True.
Compared to a striker who should be scoring headers. At the same time, he was leaning back. I don't know. Both were god awful. It should be 1-1.
Stoppage in play here. Ref stopped the game. I think he's okay, but Kevin De Bruyne is down with a head injury. I think after Dan Burn came over the top of him. Yeah, he's just caught a sidearm, really, of Dan Burns. It's not a foul, nothing malicious. Dan Burn wins the header. Kevin De Bruyne stays down. Ref obviously has to stop play for a head injury, but he's up. He's off the pitch for now, just getting a customary check by the doctor. He should be fine. It'd be great if he was injured and had to go off, but obviously we don't want to see any serious head injuries in the game. I'm realizing now
what happened with Raul Jimenez last year. And keep in mind, I'm a USA fan. That's a Mexican player, so that's a really intense rivalry. But my God, that was fucking scary.
Yeah. I just realized it now. I mean, we talked about the score and what we'd like it to be, but we didn't actually have any score predictions before.
I said 5. I said 5-0 Man City.
5-0. Excellent. I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle because I'm confident. I don't know why. Realistically, we probably are going to lose, but I think defensively we're looking quite solid. But then again, Man City can unlock you with like 3 passes. So, we started brightly though. Defensively, we're compact. Bruno seems to be sitting centrally of the 3 midfielders. But he's really quick to stop anyone getting on the ball with loads of time at their feet in the final third for Man City. So we're moving the ball really nicely. The ref has given a foul against Rodri on Bruno. He looks a bit.
That's the other thing about Bruno. He gets you fouls.
Yeah.
He gets you. He wins you free kicks and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a nice. I mean, he's being clever there. To me, it's not quite a dive because Rodri does make contact, but Bruno sticks his leg out to initiate the contact.
Oh my God, that I just saw from Bruno. That movement, he gets the ball so quickly, foot to foot, and oh my God, that was class. That was brilliant. Class.
Dubravka will take the free kick about 15 yards in our own half. Dan Burn's gone up, ball misses everyone, and Man City clear away. Sterling coming away now. Yeah, good defending from Matt Target there.
Have you seen a more complete midfielder at Newcastle than Bruno? I'm not trying to hype him up because it is still his first half season with us. But
It's
I
been
can't.
a while.
The last time I'd say Johan Kabay.
I don't think I've ever seen a central midfielder that has
Johan Kabay
for Newcastle anyway, that has the capability to pick the ball up and dribble and pass like the way he has. Like he really does have everything.
Kabay is probably a better striker of the ball.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But I mean, Bruno's not bad either, but that was Kabay's trick, right?
Yeah, I think Bruno probably has the edge on Kabay in terms of the defensive aspect of his game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kabay, like you say, his striking of the ball was fantastic. City
What
coming down the left
3 or
side
4
here.
free kicks?
Say that again.
Didn't Kabay score about what 3 or 4 free kicks?
I just remember the one against Man United.
He scored one against West Ham.
Yeah, no, he scored a few. Yeah, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but yeah, that one against Man United was special. Yeah, City playing. Adam pointed out we've had 57% possession so far, which is ridiculous against Man City, but they are starting to get a little bit of rhythm in the game. They've crossed the ball in, back post. That's a horrible miss from João Cancelo. That he's just completely unmarked, drifting into the back post. Should be at least testing the goalkeeper there. This is that was some shocking defending at the back post. I'm not sure who. Oh, I mean, Target's marking a man in the middle, so realistically, it should be Saint-Maximin tracking his man at the back. He's kind of jogging back, doesn't see his man until the last minute, and by that point, it's too late.
Yeah,
good chance for Man City. Could be 2-1. Could be 1-0.
João Cancelo should be doing so much better with that. Wow, got lucky.
Yeah, we got lucky there. We can't be letting too many of those chances. The width, though, for Man City there was ridiculous. They had the ball on one touchline and they were spreading it to the other one. So we need to be
walking. I mean, if that's Jacob Murphy, he's gonna get closer to him.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the thing that. Yeah.
Joe Linton's playing really well so far. He's getting on the ball and distributing really well for me. Joe Linton and Saint-Maximin linking up really well.
I think Longstaff too. I don't think Longstaff's put foot wrong yet.
I think as a whole, apart from that obvious miss, we've played quite well as a unit so far.
Two obvious misses from Man City. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, obvious miss for the Chris Wood chance. We're playing quite. We are sitting in a low block though, which we saw against in the Liverpool game against Spurs yesterday. It can backfire on you. And City obviously have 1,000,001 ways of unlocking you. Obviously, their favourite way is to get down the sides of you and cut it back from the byline to get any one of their players in the middle. Oh, Sterling's gone down in the box. Referee says no penalty. It was against Jamal Lascelles. Sterling's not particularly happy about it. But he's saying that he grabbed his chin.
He's always not happy. Same thing with Bruno Fernandes or all these guys are begging and pleading for their lives for all these.
Yeah.
Oh, foul! Poor me.
Yeah, it's definitely
contact sport, man. It's a contact sport.
Yeah. Big implications in this game for Man City. Obviously, if they don't pick up a point, they will stay second, and Liverpool will have the advantage in the title race.
Goal difference, yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, any result, a positive result, a draw or win, will take them back to the top of the table. All to play for. Liverpool still on for the quadruple. City obviously getting knocked out midweek of the Champions League, and they'll want to bounce back from that against us. Hopefully, we can stop that. We've never won at the Etihad in the Premier League. Excellent. That's just popped up on my screen.
Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, look up the last time. So obviously, I think it's safe to say we've won at Main Road, their old stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
let me find out the last time that was.
I think I'm trying to think how many times I've been to City away. Definitely once, maybe twice. And obviously we lost both.
It's a nice stadium, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's very modern. They obviously struggle to fill it because it's so massive. At the away end, there was a good atmosphere, even though we were losing. I think that was the game Jacob Murphy scored a chip over Edison. Probably the last time Jacob Murphy scored for us now. It's looking like a quite evenly contested game at the moment. City getting more of a swing into things now. They've got a bit of a rhythm. Almiron's tracking back well on that right-hand side. We've just got hope Saint-Maximin can do the same, and it's 1-0 City as I say that. Because Saint-Maximin didn't track his man.
That's why I wanted him fucking benched. Come off the.
We said before the game it would be down the back, down the sides, getting behind you, crossing the ball in, either cutting it back to the striker or exploiting the width, and that's exactly what they've done. They've come down the left-hand side. I can't tell who's running at the back post. I think it's either Cancelo or Jesus.
Fucking Sterling.
It's Cancelo. I think it might be Cancelo. Saint-Maximin's marking him well to start with, and then Cancelo just breezes by him. Just breezes by him, and Sterling wins a header against Dan Burn. It's just, classic.
You can't go away to Man City unless you're in the UCL. No, even in the UCL, like you can't have any passengers. And for ASM's 2 good crosses that he had in, great. I mean, Wood should have scored that. I mean, come on, but
I mean, like,
can't afford to have passengers.
You've got Cancelo, who's arguably top 2 right backs in the Premier League, if not the world.
I think he's the best. I think he's the best fullback in the world.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of versatility, you can't argue otherwise. I don't think, unless you're a Liverpool fan. You've got him against Saint-Maximin, who just refuses to track back all the time.
Does it once or twice.
If you're going to match someone up, you put Saint-Maximin on the other side against Zinchenko, because Zinchenko is going to be less of an attacking threat. You've got Almiron on the pitch to add defensive cover, so put it on the most dangerous side. It's just I don't know. It's Chris Wood's given a foul away against Ruben Dias. The referee was sold into that. He didn't give it originally, and then Ruben Dias was rolling around on the floor, so of course he gave it eventually. So 1-0 to Man City, and there goes the 1-0 prediction.
We've lost 6 straight games against them. Last time we have beaten them away, 2005. No.
You're gonna say you might be going back into the 1900s.
No. Last time we have won away to Manchester City in the Premier League or any competition, September 30th, 2000. We won 1-0.
Well, there you go. Won't get a repeat of that today with the scoreline anyway, but we could still get the result. Still playing well. Just need. Going forwards, we don't have any issues at the moment. We're dominating the ball. We're creating chances. It's the defensive work. We had a low block in, but if you put a low block in, every single player has to run and track their man.
No passengers, exactly.
Yes, Steve, smallest bloke in the pitch, scored a header against the tallest bloke in the pitch. I mean, I'm not blaming Dan Burn, because it was a great header back across from Cancelo and a great finish from Sterling. But yeah, they shouldn't be in that position in the first place. And we give the ball away again. It can be very frustrating to watch Saint-Maximin sometimes. Like I said, he started well. He put a few nice balls into the box, but then it's just the effort on the defensive end. Like even now when Man City have the ball, Almiron on the other side is 5-10 yards deeper than him at all times. Yeah. I know that Saint-Maximin is kind of the second striker almost with Wood sometimes, but he does have to track back. Like you say, no passengers.
Yeah. I saw it coming from a mile away that we were gonna concede a goal because of someone not, doing their job. Like
yeah.
We made that easier for them to score. I don't know, like you can't get results like that.
Yeah. Bruno's gone to ground a few times and not gotten anything off the referee, so he's getting a bit frustrated, but Saint-Maximin's coming away with the ball inside their own half. He's got a few yards on Cancelo, picks his head up. Can he offload it? He does really well. Finds target. Target's a bit slow with the delivery. It's over everyone. Zinchenko at the back post puts it out for a corner. So it's a bit slow from that target to get it in the box, but he gets the ball in the box regardless. Edison was about 5 yards off his line anticipating the cross, which I think is why Target slowed it down. But we do have a corner, and Man City, I think, if my stats are correct when I researched it, have only conceded 1 set-piece goal all season. So we'll need to pull something out of the bag. We do need to change the bottom of the screen. Thank you. You're always on that every week. So I will get on that now for you. Even though I'd love it to still be 0-0, it is, in fact, 1-0 for Manchester City, 23 minutes in, and Newcastle United have a corner to try and change that. Can they? Dan Burn, Sean Longstaff, Joe Linton, and one other player in there, Jamal Lascelles, currently in the box, awaiting a ball into the box. Ball in, left-footed. Goal! Get in! Chris Wood claims it.
No, offside. You're kidding. You're kidding.
It's given as offside, but I don't know how.
Nah, you're fucking.
Obviously, VAR will go to it. It would pinged around in the box off 3 or 4 players. Let's see. Ball in. Yeah, he's offside. It's Bruno Guimaraes stood because they don't have any men on the post. Jamal Lascelles wins the header at the back post, and it comes down off Bruno's boot, which then Wood scores, but Bruno is offside. So yeah, that won't count. But good set piece work. Good header from Jamal Lascelles back across the goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bruno stood in offside position. Need to be alive to that situation because City didn't have anyone on the posts there. So go on. Oh, Chris Wood putting the defense under pressure. Ruben Dias that slipped as he played the ball, almost gifted a chance to Chris Wood, but now they're playing out from the back on the left-hand side with Zinchenko. And here comes City inside their own half with Rodri on the ball. Every time they attack, they've got minimum 4 players in our half. Every single time. But yeah, it was instinctive finish from Chris Wood, puts it in the back of the net, but Guimaraes, obviously the culprit for offside. Unfortunately, not really his fault, but here comes City. Cancelo's in the box, shoots, smacks it at Dubravka. Great instinctive save. I think that might have taken his head off if he didn't get his hands up. But again, it's down that right-hand side. They're getting an overload. Cancelo from fullback is consistently getting in attacking positions because nobody is tracking his run. It's Joe Linton this time that lets him go. Sterling breezes past target and plays a lovely ball in behind, but Joe Linton's let Cancelo go already, so he gets another shot on target. It's ridiculous. You'd think we'd have learned by now.
Good save, Dubravka.
Yeah. Corner for Man City. Referee's having a word with someone in the middle. Let's have a look. I mean, Cancelo has got 7 goal contributions this year. You think you'd learn to stop him doing that? He scored against us last time because we just let him run and run and run with the ball from about halfway to the edge of the box, and he just put it in the top corner.
In football nowadays, someone always needs to be watching fullbacks, whether that's Cucurella, whether that's João Cancelo, whether it's Robertson, Jonathan Klaus, any of these guys. Someone's got you can't just let them, because it's like a support winger at times, and you can't leave those guys unmarked.
Like we pointed it out against Leicester the last time I was on the watch along, and we said their fullbacks get behind, so they'll leave space that we can exploit. That's all well and good, but you have to stop them getting something out of their attack first. You can't counter attack if you don't stop the first attack in the first place.
Yeah.
So I imagine Eddie Howe's going to give someone an earful at halftime. It was 27 minutes into the game. Chris Wood had a goal disallowed offside and should have had the ball in the back of the net, but gets us up the pitch now with a lovely chest down to Joe Linton, who brings it forward and offloads it to Kraft on the right-hand side. Tries to give it back to Joe Linton down the line, but it's intercepted by Zinchenko. It was a nice idea. We've got plenty of men forwards. We're not shy about committing numbers, but pass was just lacking from Kraft there. City happy to accept the pressure and play out from the back, not rushing anything, but a nice header from Kraft to win it back. And now Saint-Maximin has the ball. He's going to run and pass it to Guimaraes, who then gives it to Dan Burn, who will slow things down and let us reset before we attack again. Matt Target. City playing a very high line there. Chris Wood and Almiron both stood about 5 yards offside waiting for the ball. And ball played over the top, and Almiron is now flagged offside. City playing a very high line there, but if he can time his run well, and we can get a good enough ball in behind, they're playing very high up, and he's got the legs to get in behind them here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a tactic that we should be employing. Excuse me.
I mean, to be honest, you're already 1-0 down.
Yeah.
You got to go for it.
Let us know in the comments down below what you made of the first half so far. Are you happy, to be only 1-0 behind? There has been multiple chances for City.
I'm not happy with how we let the goal go in.
No, I don't think anyone it will be in the comments, but it is only 1-0. We are still in the game. That's a great tackle from Target. Crocs Sterling and wins the ball in the process. Saint-Maximin's taking on 3 men at a time before giving the ball away to Sterling because he just passes it aimlessly backwards when he realizes he's run out of ideas. Brilliant play from Saint-Maximin. If you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. Jamal Lascelles with the ball in the box playing out. Kraft brings Almiron into the game, who will then look to distribute and gives the ball away because we're just panicking on the ball now. Saint-Maximin was guilty of it before. Now Almiron's just done it there, trying to play out from the back. Oh, that'll be a booking. That'll be at very least a booking for Bruno. Ref played advantage for now. Gundogan into the box, blocked. Jack Grealish is currently off the pitch, rolling around like he's been shot by a sniper. It was a bad challenge from Bruno, very late, sliding in. Probably will be a booking. I doubt it'll be anything more than that, but they haven't had a break in play to confirm that. Yeah. I mean, we expected a game like this, Steve, didn't we? You know, Man City to have a lot of the ball sitting in the low block, but it's disappointing to concede in the manner that we did.
Yep.
We're almost playing in a back six when City go back to their centre backs. Almiron's dropped in as almost a right wing back, and then Saint-Maximin's dropped deep as well on his side. So just to counteract the width that Man City are playing with, you know, we've packed out the midfield. You know, there's three centre mids stood in front of the centre backs, but there's only one striker. That's 5 players to mark one player. You know, we don't need to commit that many men into that area. Gundogan's going to strike from distance. Oof, there was some venom behind that shot. I don't know how far it went wide, but there was some.
Yeah, I told you before the game started, like, we're going to have all eyes on, and Gundogan's probably going to be, he'll have his chances today.
That was not very far wide, let me tell you. It was only about 2 or 3 yards wide. Plenty of power behind it. It was travelling some lick. And yeah, Bruno in the book for that challenge on Grealish. So he's early booking for him. It was well deserved as well. I mean, it was a late challenge. You know, Grealish obviously rolling around like the prima donna he is, but that's what he's good at. It was a foul, but he's up and playing now. 4 bookings for Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, I don't know how many games he's played, but that's quite an impressive tally. Newcastle on the ball. Lascelles, nice ball. Almiron playing well. I don't know what Chris Wood and Saint-Maximin are doing, but they're both stood in an offside position for most of the time that we've got the ball. So they're never going to get the ball in those times. That's a great ball in. Jamal Lascelles goes up for the head and misses it completely, but does enough to put Gabriel Jesus off, who scuffs it at the back post, and Kraft puts it behind for a corner. But City growing into the game here, and Newcastle growing out of it, if that's even such a thing. De Bruyne with the ball into the box, and Kraft defending well. But yeah, I mean, 3 or 4 City players lurking there for a shot. Lucky Jesus mucked it up. But yeah, I mean, that's a good point off rate. I mean, his record of exaggerating and diving maybe saves Bruno a red card there, the severity of it. I mean, if the ref blows up straight away for a foul, then you worry because they could go to VAR straight away. Yeah. The players carried on. They played the advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruno sent Maxi away here. Maxi's got the legs. Can he take on Rodri? He's clear. Rodri's recovered well. Grealish is with him as well. Maxi's on his own at the moment. He needs a bit of help. Goes down. Ref says no because Maxi dived late. It's a goal kick. Good run. Good play from Bruno. But Maxi tries to win a free kick there, but is unconvincing when he falls to the floor. It did look like Rodri left a leg in, but Maxi didn't go up to the floor very convincingly for me. But yeah, nice counter-attacking attempt from Bruno there, just whacking the ball forwards and letting Saint-Maximin use his pace against Rodrigo.
And Bruno tried to make a late run into the box too, so he had 3 guys on him. Fucking hell.
It's the case that... go on, Joe Linton, win that. Okay, don't. It's the case that Man City are defending when our dangerous players get on the ball. With Saint-Maximin and Bruno getting the ball, there's minimum 2 players on them at all times. They're not letting them breathe, which is exactly how they need to counteract us. Grealish has it wide here, plays it inside. De Bruyne, that's lovely football. Zinchenko. Oh, it should be 2-0. Somehow Gabriel Jesus doesn't make any contact. But that's fantastic play for Man City. Absolutely tearing us to shreds. De Bruyne obviously heavily involved. Little give and go. Zinchenko. Grealish plays it in off the wing. Zinchenko lets it run, makes a run. He's miles onside because Dan Burns sat about 3 yards deeper than everyone else. But Jesus just doesn't get anywhere near the ball in the 6-yard box. That's lucky. Very, very big let off for Newcastle there.
Not the first one. Crazy.
I mean, this game could be 3-4-2 if, Bruno wasn't offside, if Chris Wood could actually head the ball, if Man City could take their chances. It's been a game of a lot of chances, neither side's defence on top. Let's just hope we can convert it into an actual decent chance and convert it into a goal eventually. Chris Wood wins a header. Maxi flicks it up, but there's no one there to support him. Rodri clears. Jamal Lascelles heads it forward into no man's land. Wood does well to bring it down. Plays it out wide to Saint-Maximin. Here we go. Here's a chance. Saint-Maximin's got target in support. Chooses to go inside himself, of course, because he always does. Joe Linton plays it out wide to target eventually. Picks his head up. Low ball into the box. Well defended. Joe Linton beats... not Joe Linton. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Bruno Guimaraes with the blonde hair. Shoves De Bruyne off the ball. And here we go. Here's another chance. Great ball in behind, but it's just overhit. Oh, that's frustrating. Neil Craft had made a nice run into some space, but I think it was Sean Longstaff tries to feed him. Overhits the pass and it goes out for a goal kick. Exhausting watching this. Adam pointing out it's been a long time since ASM had a very good game. Yeah, a couple of average performances from him and a couple of disappointing performances as well. But yeah, long time since he's put in a 10 out of 10 for us. I'd like to, obviously, my memory is like a sieve. So if anyone remembers the last time we gave him a 10 out of 10 on scoring the players, please let us know.
I don't remember.
No.
Be honest.
But I couldn't agree more.
Wilson warming up. Ooh.
Couldn't agree more with this statement. The main problem is with ASM is his decision making. He tries to do too much and forgets he belongs to a team. Yeah, we saw that in the last move. Target was there on the overlap, going at someone like he chooses to go inside and try and take on two men. Ends up passing the ball to someone else, and Target gets the ball eventually anyway. If you speed that up by 2 or 3 moves, Target could get a better ball into the box, and maybe you've got a chance. Chris Wood being called flag for another offside there because Man City are playing an extremely high line. But if Callum Wilson is fit to play and play a few decent minutes as well, you think he might have a bit of joy with this back line that they're playing. They're playing very high. And obviously he's got a bit more legs than Chris Wood. Would, no pun intended, would Eddie Howe consider playing them in a front two? And if so, who do you take?
That would be what I would do personally.
I would also personally enjoy that. At the moment, City aren't exploiting the space in the middle of the park in front of our defence, so I wouldn't mind seeing a switch to a 4-4-2, take out one of the central midfielders, sacrifice them for Wilson. Are we guys going to Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow? No, but I will be supporting them from the comfort of my living room. Not a bad result. 1-0 is better than the 5-0 they had at Christmas at the Stadium of Lights. So they can on home turf. They beat us when we played them in the Championship on home turf. So I'm sure they can do the same for Sunderland. Yeah, plenty of drama in the lower leagues as well. Bristol Rovers getting promoted with a 7-0 win, which is bloody impressive. And then Wrexham beating Stockport County 3-0 earlier today as well to go top of the league. Obviously, a couple of games left for Stockport, but still plenty of upsets in the lower leagues.
Two Welsh teams in the English system. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there's 4. Yeah, Wrexham, Stockport, Swansea, Cardiff. Who else is a Welsh side in the English league system?
Newport.
Newport, Stockport, yeah.
Stockport's in Manchester. It's not in Wales. Maybe you're getting confused with Newport.
I must say, but
yeah. Oh, that's a strike. Oh, 2-0. I don't know if it's going to count, but it's 2-0. Laporte scores. Gundogan. It's a corner for Man City. Gundogan volleys from the edge of the box. Goes through a crowd of players. Dubravka spills it. Tries to get a hand to it. I don't know. I obviously VAR checks every goal. But I don't know if he has control of the ball when the City players smash it in the back of the net. But there's 2 or 3 Man City players in front of Dubravka ready to pounce on that second ball. And there's not a single Newcastle United player anywhere near them. So Kevin De Bruyne whips the ball in.
The back line may as well just look at Dubravka in that instance, just be like, yeah, fuck you. Man, you can do it all on your own. You got it.
Gabriel Jesus blocks off Matt Target in like a basketball style screen. It's not anywhere near the ball, but for me that is a foul. he doesn't just stand there. He moves and blocks Target, which means Target can't get to the ball to block the shot.
Oh yeah,
but of course we don't get the decision. So 2-0 to Man City, 38 minutes.
I've never seen
really.
that. I've never seen a basketball screen in football. That's interesting.
But
have you?
I don't think Dubravka realistically should be realistically holding that. That's a bad goalkeeping from him. But then his defender should also be helping him out. You can't have two Man City players reacting to that first rather than the defense. And this is why you put players on the posts. Well, it's gone pretty much exactly as we expected.
Oh, you said 1-0. I said 5.
I was being optimistic. Yeah, so goals coming from Aymeric Laporte and Raheem Sterling. So goals from all over the pitch, like we mentioned before the game. Anyone can score, anyone will score. Gundogan with assisting the assist with Ruben Dias.
Who do you blame more? The center backs not being anywhere around those three guys with their back. Some of their backs were fucking turned.
I blame Dubravka because it doesn't take a deflection. I doesn't take a deflection. He's not particularly unsighted. There was a nice camera shot of behind the ball. You can see it all the way through. You practice catching those exact kind of balls week in, week out. You can't make that mistake as a professional goalkeeper in a top tier. He's not helped by his defenders. If he makes a mistake, his defenders should be there to bail him out. But the majority of the blame for me lies with him. Yes,
he's the only player on the field besides Ederson who can use his hands. Use your fucking hands.
Yeah. Chris Wood does well, winning yet another header up the pitch. Saint-Maximin has 3 men surrounding him, still tries to take them on, and the cross gets blocked. Joelinton actually puts a decent ball in. Ederson spills it, but Grealish is there to take it away and outside the box. He's probably
ASM needs to, bro. I'm telling you, ASM needs to fucking have a look at what Bruno does when he's got 3 guys on him and take some fucking lessons. I'm getting sick of it. It's too predictable. It's too predictable.
It's a nice high ball in from Joelinton. Chris Wood almost gets on the end of it. Keeper flaps at it, spills it. Somehow the instant replay was showing, and somehow we've gone from having a throw-in on their corner flag to them putting a cross in our box. Luckily, Dubravka deals with it. But I'd love to know how we lost the ball in that situation. 41 minutes on the clock. Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 0. And Man City looking like they could have had 3 or 4.
Someone want to tackle De Bruyne? No? All right. Me either.
There was debate whether we should run a back 5 today or a back 4. Obviously, we're going back 4.
I don't think it matters.
It just gives you a bit more width, doesn't it, to defend against the goals that we've conceded. I mean, the second goal comes from a set piece, which is just poor defending, poor goalkeeping. But yeah, and I'm saying here, never thought I'd say this, but think sell ASM in the summer. More and more people every week saying that they'd be open to.
I wouldn't shed a tear, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be a bit sad, yeah, but ultimately, I think it might be better for his career and for I
wouldn't let him go for anything less than 40 million, especially to another Premier League team. That's his value, I think, for the value he brings to the team. But if you do sell him, you do have to replace him with someone equally good, if not better. But then that's a problem for the recruitment team in summer. We could improve every single position on the pitch apart from maybe the starting right back, and you could buy another central midfielder. You could buy another.
I mean, Bruno's got his place in the starting 11. For
but then
injuries. If he stays injury free, he'll be a part of 90% of our starting 11s next year.
Yeah.
No matter how far we go in FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever.
Yeah.
So Trippier too. Hopefully he can play a lot. I think he'll be able to play a lot of those games. Dubravka needs an upgrade, though, I think.
I was having this discussion with some Leeds fans because I work with a lot of Leeds fans, and we was just saying, like, if they were to go down, which players would you realistically take from Leeds? And one of the names that was floated around was Meslier. Obviously, had a howler today, absolute howler, and he's prone to those mistakes, but he is a good shot stopper. No. I'm arguing a case for it.
I would take Meslier. Yeah,
because if you signed him if the Leeds do go down, you signed him this summer. That's a season playing second fiddle to Bravka, learning how to be a good shot stopper, and being a better goalkeeper. There's not too much pressure on him because Meslier came into a Leeds team that was doing consistently well in the Championship, and then obviously it's straight thrown in at the deep end at the Premier League. He faces more shots.
He is from FC Lorient, from their second team. Yeah.
But he faces more shots than any other goalkeeper in the league. That's a foul. Just because he doesn't dive doesn't mean it's not a foul. Fucking hell. Referees had a rubbish game as well.
Wow. What's new?
Yeah.
I don't even bother getting upset about that anymore, to be honest. We watch Premier League games. Can't really complain much. I mean, it happens almost every other game. They're just not they're not very good. I don't know why.
Well, we'll see. I think it's 3 Premier League referees are retiring at the end of the year. I think Mike D.
But they're going to watch the games on VAR. So that's great.
Yeah.
So the incompetence just moves to another position. Yeah. Wonderful. And then people will scapegoat the TV monitor as to why it sucks. Not the people, making decisions. That's the thing that pisses me off. It's like you got to talk about the people. It's like I said, VAR is a TV screen. Yeah. How is it VAR's ruining the game? No, it's the incompetence of the people watching it and telling the refs, oh, this and this. They get it right sometimes, but there's a lot of decisions that they just don't get right.
Should be 3-0 City here, by the way. ASM not tracking Cancelo again. Puts a beautiful ball across the 6-yard box. Jesus again swinging a miss inside the 6-yard box. I don't know what's gotten into him today, but he should have had 2 goals just from tap-ins. But then it goes out of play for a goal kick. I believe the referee's given 1 minute left. 2 minutes of added time were allocated, and we've played one of them already. City on the attack. Cancelo plays it forwards. Dan Burns got the legs to see it out of play.
They should have had 6.
But yeah, this game should realistically had 6-7 goals in it already, and most of them from Man City. And every single one, bar the second goal, has come down the wings. Right, come on. We've got 30 seconds to make something here. Joe Linton turns well. Bruno jumps in to help him out. Matt Targett lumps it forwards. Chris Wood is on. I don't know why Rodri's just stopped there.
Wood missing a header my wife could score.
Oh, come on. We're in a good position there. Bruno tries to float a ball over to Kraft and wastes the opportunity because it was a bit too high. A bit poor from him, but nice to see him picking his head up and trying to create something. City are going to have the last chance of the half. Sterling floats it over to the back post. De Bruyne brings it down inside the box. It's cleared out, but only as far as Gundogan. Referee puts a whistle to his lips and blows for half-time. 2-0. Dominant from City. We had a good opening 5-10 minutes where Chris Wood should have scored, really, and another goal in the back of the net, which was offside. Bruno Guimaraes, the good guilty culprit there. But yes, City absolutely tearing us to shreds.
That's Bruno's, what? Is that his first mistake?
Yeah, I mean,
what? It's trying to think what else has he done egregious, and that's not even egregiously wrong. It's a mistake. I'm not going to kill him for it.
It's, for me, the issues here are the wide players. Almiron's not been in the game. I think the most he's done has been called offside twice.
Yeah.
Saint-Maximin's created a couple of good chances, but hasn't tracked back multiple times. I think 3
lost occasions. The ball 3 times.
Yeah, I think 3 occasions Man City probably could have and probably should have scored from when Saint-Maximin didn't track back. Target's been torn to shreds, but not because of his own fault, because he's got Sterling and João Cancelo to mark, and which one do you choose to mark? Wood's been all right in winning his aerial battles up top. You know, he's won a lot of duels up there, but there's no one around him to convert them. Joe Linton's had a decent game. The midfield have been all right. The Joe Linton, Bruno, and Sean trio have played well. Excuse me. But yeah, it's the rest of the team that's just, I don't know. I really don't.
Target's been okay, but the problem is that some people try to blame Target for one of the goals because ASM don't do his job. That's the thing. So I don't know. Man. I don't know. Yeah. I would say with Wood, maybe alone.
Yeah, I mean, second half.
An upgrade on the striker position, and quite frank, like I love Callum Wilson, and I think if he comes on today, he has a better chance of scoring than anyone on our side of things. And see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. What's wrong with Target? Yeah, it's because ASM isn't.
Yeah.
Target can't do it all on his own. I get it why he asked what's wrong with Target, because like I said, it makes Target look worse because you can't play Man City and have passengers. You can't do it all on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, and Maxi has been a passenger. I mean, you know, when we look at his stats, like we looked at his stats before the game, the things that jump out are his chance creation, you know, his dribbling. He's done that, you know, especially in the first half, like the first 25 minutes or so. You know, he took the ball and he played two really good crosses. Well, he played one really good cross in the box for Wood. And before that, he made a really nice run, which he should have done better with. But defensively, he's just not tracking back. And when he is, you know, he's not doing well enough to track his man. I know he's not a defensively minded player, and you can't expect him to be the best thing since sliced bread. But
Miggy isn't.
No.
Miggy isn't.
No.
But that's the thing nowadays in football. Defensive players are expected. I mean, depending on which team and how they play, but generally, you expect your fullbacks to get a few goals and a few assists just to chip in a bit. Some are excellent and some are okay. Yeah. And some, like Target, he'll get you an odd goal or assist, but he's there for the defensive solidity, right? So, but there's no excuse. There's no excuse for ASM.
No.
You can't I understand it is City, and I said it was going to be 5-0, but I also said I don't mind getting beat 5-0 if it's quality.
Yeah, I mean, we started well. I mean, when that comment came in, we had 54% possession in the first 10 minutes. You know, we came out of the blocks really well, and then we just let them get into the rhythm. Before the game started, you said the one thing that we can't do is let them get into the rhythm, and then that's exactly what we've gone and done.
Yeah. 2 gifted goals to a team that doesn't need any help. Exactly. Lads, it's City. I think we're playing fairly well. Expect them to risk more in the second half. To me, all right, subs that I would make, I'd take ASM off, and I'd take Wood off, and I'd bring in Wilson for Wood.
Yeah.
And do we have Jacob Murphy on the bench? I
mean, if I'm Eddie Howe at halftime, I'm going, right, well, we've played well, but for the sake of the argument, I'm going to take Sean Longstaff off. I'm going to move to a back 4-4-2 even. And then I'm going to play Maxi and Almer a little bit deeper, and I'm bringing Callum Wilson on for the second half.
Yeah.
It's surely for me, it's the only thing we can do. I don't know. I mean,
ASM deserves to get subbed off at halftime for me.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Especially after the comments you make this week. Like, come on, you're not helping yourself, man.
No.
I'm not expecting him to be a quality like you said, he's not defensive minded. I'm not asking him to be getting tackles and interceptions and all this crap, but like just run.
Yeah.
Just run. That's my thing.
Yeah. But yeah, well, hopefully we see a better second half. I mean, we are still realistically within touching distance. And No, it's only 2 goals. If they can do it in the first half, there's no reason why we can't do it in the second. Chris Wood's had a good chance. Despite missing that chance, I think he's played quite well. He's brought the team, he's tried to bring his teammates into the game. He's won a lot of aerial battles going forwards. He just needs someone up there with him to help him out. And I think Callum Wilson is that person to do that because St. Maximin seemingly can't be bothered.
Oh, there we go. It's updated. Oh, wait.
Yeah, just changed it now.
Any blame for Eddie Howe? For me, I think he needs to bench ASM.
Yeah. I mean,
been a passenger. I mean, Jesus Christ! It really is. It's just, ugh.
Yeah.
But who's man of the match in the game? Do you think?
Cancelo. He's keeping a clean sheet and he's created about 4 or 5 chances.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I mean, Gundogan's pulling the strings. Grealish is playing well. I mean, everyone from City's playing well, apart from Edison, who's barely touched the ball.
I mean, Jesus should have 2 goals, but yeah.
Yeah, true. I mean,
that's the other thing, and Andy made a good point. Why is Dubravka not catching that ball? What's up with this Butterfingers stuff? Like, come on. Like, to me, out of all the goalkeepers in the Prem this year, honest to God, Jose Sa has impressed me the most because that guy, he goes for every single ball like it's his life on the line. Like, he defends his box, and he makes tons and tons of saves, too. He's been well overperforming, and the guy came from fucking Olympiacos in Greece.
Yeah.
And he's had a really, really good season for them. I've been so impressed with Jose Sa. And that's the kind of player we need because he's overperforming, yes. And I think that, Wolves have been conceding a few more goals, but like he's not at fault for many of them. And when he claims his balls in the box when he has to, he's good with his hand. Like, that's the kind of stuff that it's just Dubravka's shaky at the minute.
Yeah. And Dylan's posed the question, do we need a new goalkeeper? Oh, sorry. I think you put that up at the same time as I have. Do we need a new goalkeeper? I mean, maybe not.
Competition at least. Darlow is not the answer.
Yeah. We need
Woodman, same thing.
We should sign another first team goalkeeper either the start of this season, the start of next season, or in January next year, because Dubravka may have another season left in him. But we do need, if we want to go up the table, we need to sign a player that is going to consistently put in performances and just be a top quality goal. Like
Liverpool and Man City both had kind of average keepers that cost them. Claudio Bravo at Man City when Pep first got there, and then Karius at Liverpool. Now they have 2 tremendous world-class keepers because that's a very important position. You can't have a goalkeeper that isn't ready to like die for the ball to get it out. Like that's the thing for me. Just authority and a presence in between the sticks.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think as amazing as Alisson's been, I think Jose Sa has bailed them out a few times for Wolves. I've been so impressed with them. And he was replacing Patricio, who wasn't a bad keeper either, and he's done even better than him. So got to get a goalkeeper to push him. It's a position where if he's fit, he plays at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, any of the 3 teams that are in the relegation mix, Burnley, Everton, and Leeds, they all have decent goalkeepers behind them, but the defenses in front of them are that bad that they don't look as good as they are. And I think at times it can be the same with Dubravka. I think last season he faced nearly the most shots in the Premier League. When he stops a high percentage of them, he's a good shot stopper. But there are moments, and we've seen this a bit more frequently the more recently, where he will have a lapse in concentration, or it's not the best save or the best decision making. Like that thing that the second goal, he should have caught that ball.
Yeah.
But then again, earlier in the game, Cancelo smashes a ball straight at him or straight at his face, and he reacts really well to parry it behind. He has his moments. He is a good goalkeeper still. But if we do, looking forwards, if we do want to go up the table, you're right, we do need a keeper like Sa.
He's 34.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get any better. Maybe a little bit, but he's getting up there in age, so he's going to downward in performance. If we got someone like Meslier or even Zach Steffen, I think the problem with me is Zach Steffen is the reason why he makes those mistakes in FA Cup semifinals because he plays 3 or 4 games a fucking year. Why are you gonna chuck your backup keeper in the FA Cup semifinals? It's all well and good playing him in earlier rounds or whatever, but like if he's not consistently starting games, it's the rhythm, and he's too casual. So I think that could be a good keeper as long as we're, and as a fan base, I'd rather invest in Steffen, Meslier, or I forget the Czech goalkeeper at Rennes, but he's 18. I'd rather bring in someone like that with lots of potential and that they're still young, and that, okay, if he makes mistakes, that's part of learning. Of learning. Like Meslier. He didn't do great today. He didn't, the first goal, that back pass was completely shit, but he makes mistakes, but the guy is up there in the top 3, I bet, this year of saves made and shots faced. And he's made some outstanding saves. And this is the other Dylan, I was about to say that Meslier not only gets a lot of saves, he gets a lot of saves because the defense leads defensive shock. He still has to make those saves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the game passed Joe Linton by. I didn't think he was that bad.
No, I thought he got on the ball quite well. I mean, most of the attacking stuff went through his side. I thought Joe Linton was quite good. I just wanted to highlight one comment that we got about how. Sorry to kind of kick the one that you pick up there. How won't attract top players in Newcastle? Wenger attract top players. So good. Yeah, Pep and Klopp, in their own rights, were successful managers before they came to the clubs they're at. Wenger, like you said earlier, Steve, he came from Japan. He was
Sir Alex Ferguson came from Aberdeen. Granted, he won a European Cup with them, so more people. But
it's not about the prestige of the manager before they come into the club. It's what they do with the club.
How did we get Bruno Guimaraes?
Yeah, like there is every reason that Howe can attract these top players. He's already attracted one. Because of the work he's done with the team that he's got. He inherited a team that hadn't won a game, that were bottom of the table, and he's got us to a point of where we're mathematically safe with 3 games to play. And
we were at bottom in January after 1 win in 19, 18, something like that. Yeah.
There's no reason why a player wouldn't look at that and go, oh, well, that manager's turned things around. He's turned Joe Linton.
Because you're not, sorry to cut you off. Go on. I was about to say, just because you're not Pep, Klopp, or one of these guys, doesn't it? I feel like sometimes people, they're just like, oh, well, you can't succeed if you don't have a reputation. Well, guess what? Every single player you see, no matter what player, no matter what manager you see, they had to go to a small club and establish themselves. Yeah. Everybody was a nobody at one point. Mm-hmm. Everybody was a nobody.
It's not necessarily about signing like multi-stars, like people that are already
good
at the top
team.
Of the like we saw with Rafa Benitez. He's a player with a big reputation. He won the Champions League, for God's sake. But he wasn't pulling in. Obviously, we were in the Championship when he kind of first had an opportunity to build a squad. But he wasn't interested in bringing in mega stars. He was interested in bringing in solid players that would come and promoted, that he can push to the best of their ability, like Eddie Howe's done with Joe Linton, with Matt Targett, with Kieran Trippier, who's obviously a world-class player as well. Game's going to restart very shortly. We'll continue this discussion, but just one quick thing. Ruben Dias has gone off. I'm guessing he's injured. And Fernandinho's come on as playing as centre-back.
We have to target him. We have to target him.
I mean, he's not the biggest player, and we know he's prone to a booking and a rash.
Mobility is my thing. He's losing some of his mobility. He's still a top player in terms of his career and stuff. Looked very shaky against Real Madrid midweek, though. Yes, that is Real Madrid and Newcastle. We're not in the same stratosphere, but you got to.
Second half's kicked off. We are obviously going the other way. Wilson not on the pitch yet. It depends how fit they are, because I can't imagine Eddie Howe wants to rush them back in, especially Kieran Trippier if he's got one eye on the World Cup next winter. He doesn't want to injure himself for the off-season in summer. He wants to stay as fit as possible and come back from injury gradually. We don't need to. It's not a must-win game at the end of the day. We don't want to risk anything. We don't have to. Excuse me. But yeah, Larry pointed out, you don't need to be a famous manager to convince quality players to join. That's absolutely true.
I wouldn't question Eddie Howe's recruitment either. This window, I mean, at Bournemouth, he had Fraser, Wilson, Arsenal goalkeeper, what's his name? Ramsdale. You've got Ramsdale, Richie, Wilson. Was the other guy that he got for cheap? I forget, but those three guys alone, that he recruited those guys for Bournemouth for like 10 million. And Ramsdale, he's got a very good chance of playing UCL next year with Arsenal. So I mean, you don't need to get the big, like I said, everyone starts off as a nobody. It's about scouting and finding players from wherever. That's what a scout's supposed to do. It's not always about getting the big names.
Yeah.
It's about having a damn good team at the end of the day.
Yeah. Larry said a little bit earlier on. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. This is a quick one. Who would sign for Bruce? Exactly. Even who got ASM? Yeah.
City, very close to a third goal there. They're still on the attack with Sterling here inside the box. He's dancing round. Takes a naughty deflection. Nearly loops into the far post, but City have the ball. It's gone out for a corner somehow. I don't know how that's gone out. But yeah, so City come away with it now. Zinchenko's setting up Gundogan. Whips the ball into the box. That's a lovely ball. Keeper doesn't come for him, but it's headed away safely. Maximan on the ball on the counter now. He's got 4 defenders back. He's going to take them on. He feeds. Almost fed through Wood there. Good idea offloading the ball when he did. He was running into traffic, but execution was a little bit off. I won't blame him though. He was hounded out there by some Man City defenders there.
Off raid. I get that, but look what happened with the other two clubs with rich owners. Chelsea, Man City went out and got top. Well, the thing is that we're not going to be the way we do things won't be exactly like how Man City. You can be a successful football club in many different ways. Many different ways. You could have a completely young team with, in scouts' opinions, they've got world-class potential, and you might not have a great year first 3 years, but year 4, you get Europa League. Year 5, you're challenging for Champions League. 6 and onwards, you know what I mean? Or you can get in established big hitter type players and see where it takes you. So, I mean, there's multiple ways.
He made the point there that, rich clubs went out and got previously successful managers. They did and they didn't. Man City appointed Pellegrini, and I've just looked it up, and he didn't really win anything before Man City. He won something in Chile. He won something with San Lorenzo. He won something with River Plate in the early 2000s. And then the next thing he won was the Premier League in 2013-14, and he won the League Cup twice with Man City as well. That's not a manager that has been...
Borussia Dortmund got Jurgen Klopp from Mainz 05. So... He didn't win silverware with them, but he kept that club up, and they've been up in the Bundesliga since then in a very competitive from first to, from second down onwards in terms of money and talent and all that stuff. He set a foundation up for Mainz for the coming years, and they're now a stable Bundesliga side. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ten Hag. I mean, I think he's gonna. No one's the answer for Man United under the Glazers, but Ten Hag started out at FC Twente, and then he was an assistant. Steve McLaren was his assistant in the Netherlands, and so that's what I'm saying. You don't just start out at the top. You've got to work your way from below. So. I don't have a problem with Eddie Howe. I'd be pretty sad to see him go, to be honest. This summer, I think that'd be a bit too. I just give it a chance. You hired him.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of comments, about Elliot Anderson. Obviously had a fantastic season half season with Bristol Rovers. Won their Player of the Month a couple of times, I think, and Young Player of the Season, if I'm not correct. But yeah, brilliant season for Elliot Anderson. I'm not sure he walks into the first team next year because that is, that League Two to Premier League is a very big step up.
I would say try alone. I would say try alone to Vitesse or Ajax. Club like that, because the Eredivisie, it's still it's a pretty good league, but it's not quite the step up. It's not on the same level as the Premier League.
Yeah,
but it is above League Two, and he's shown that he is clearly better than League Two.
Yeah, so Mason Mount, you say, Vitesse, Mason Mount cut his teeth there before going on loan to Derby, and then obviously is mercurial for Chelsea. Not my favorite player in the world, but he's undoubtedly a talent, and he got that experience abroad. We've seen players go to the Championship regularly, and that's a very physical league and a very long league as well. A lot of fixtures, and that'll build a player up or break him down. It really is make or break. So I could see a loan somewhere to a league like that, because obviously he's not going to play in the first team next year regularly.
Or a Ligue 1. I even think like a Ligue 1 side. I'd love to see that, because if you look at, and I follow Ligue 1 more than probably most people watching or whatever, but it's a phenomenal league for young players to develop and become names and get sold on. It's probably the best league in the world to do so, because they give so many chances to youngsters. If you look at Man City's team, you're going to see Ligue 1 players there. What's his name?
Bernardo Silva?
Yeah, Bernardo Silva at Monaco. Fernandinho. Fabinho for Liverpool. He's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Sadio Mane was at Metz. I hate Metz. But, you know what I mean? France, it's a very good league for talent to develop. And they'll give you a chance. Or Bundesliga, like Dylan Gray said.
Yeah.
A loan move to Dortmund, that would be a step up, most certainly from League Two. But I wouldn't be against it if he tried, because Dortmund are going to have a summer clear out, obviously.
Yeah. There's just been a stat popped up on the screen. We're about 8 minutes gone here in the second half, and Man City have had 99% possession, which I don't think I've ever seen in a game. So great. We're using that 1%.
So that's 1% must be a clearance.
Yeah. Well, let me do some maths. How long we had? 8 minutes ish. 8 times 60.
Oh, there's a header, so that's another percent.
I think if my maths is correct, we've had the ball for 4.8 seconds. In the second half. That can't be right.
Why do you say, wait, question about the culture. Yeah. Why do you guys say maths?
Well, because it's short for mathematics, not mathematic.
Math.
No, there's more than one math. Anyway,
you doesn't really matter. Math correct. So many questions I have about the UK. The most predominant one is the use of soccer aid, soccer Saturday, soccer schools. That's all stuff. But I get shit. As an American if I say it on here. If I say US soccer or whatever, people they But you guys got soccer aid, soccer schools, like. I don't get it. Pick a side. And you guys invented the term too, which is even more hilarious.
Yeah, I know. It's a strange one. It's always football apart from those specific things. So I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Eddie Howe looks a bit perplexed on the bench as well. So I'm sure we'll see some changes soon. He looks frustrated, fuming, to be honest. He's chewing his chewing gum into a fine dust at this rate.
Math annoys me. I hiss the letter S when I hear it. What's wrong with math? So wait, if you go to maths class?
No, we wouldn't say class. We just say maths.
I'm going to maths?
Yeah. But what lesson have you got next? I've got maths. Why is that so confusing? We generally don't say like class after stuff. So we'd say like, oh, I've got English or I've got science.
Well, no, I don't say Englishes or something or like what the plural. It's just what's plural about it. It's math.
Yeah. Anyway, well, back to the football. Yeah, James pointing out in the comments the stat that's just popped up on our screens. 108 successful passes for Man City in the second half, 0 for Newcastle. I don't know if that's going to count as 1, as Miguel Almiron's played in on the right-hand side. There's definitely 1 as he passes it back to Joe Linton. We've got 2 successful passes together. That's a nice pass in. Don't know what he's doing up there. Sean Longstaff's getting a nosebleed. He's on the edge of the box, but Matt Targett's going to pass it into Saint-Maximin, who's lining up against João Cancelo. Sterling's track back 2, cuts back, offloads it to Bruno, about 40 yards out. He's going to have a dig. About 20 yards over the bar, but it's a shot. It was a nice move. So hopefully we can use the ball a little bit better in the second half. Joe Linton's down on the ground injured. He's fiddling with his shin pad. So I guess he did take a bit of a knock about 5
minutes ago. Completed pass. Wow, we're on fucking fire. Your defense is terrified. We completed 5 passes in a row.
Joe Linton's up and hopping around now, so it doesn't look like he's too serious. He didn't need any medical attention. He was just fiddling with his shin pads. Long kick from Edison from the goal kick. All the way through.
I guess so far Bruno Guimaraes gets Newcastle man of the match. I don't know who the fuck else is going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris Wood, if he hadn't missed a bloody sitter, he would have been up there. Yeah, this is a very difficult watch, I think is the word for it at the moment. We've not changed anything from the second half, from the first half even, and it's just miserable. City are passing around us like there's no tomorrow. There's no attempt to get the ball back. There's the occasional press. Almiron's done well there, put pressure on. Bruno's picked his head up. He's found Saint-Maximin on the far side. His pass is slightly overhit, and he's 1-on-1 against Cancelo at the minute. He's doing well. Goes for goal and drags it wide. It's all right that he's had a shot. I like that, it's positive play, but he's held onto the ball for 5-10 seconds there. There was 2 or 3 times he could have offloaded that ball to someone else in a better position. He got Joe Linton and Bruno in support. Sean Longstaff turns around and screams in frustration. Like, he's not just frustrating us, he's frustrating his teammates as well. He needs to do better there. Like, it's good, positive play. I like the fact that he took his man on, but then he offloaded it to someone in a better position. Yeah.
But Larry. Yet still, he thinks that it's out of context, that people are taking it out, his comments. It's like, no, the way you're playing, the way you're playing, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Larry earlier said that goalkeeper wasn't a priority for him, and he wants to see some strikers and wingers coming into the club next transfer window. And I'd agree. Goalkeeper would be nice to sign one, but yeah, definitely not the priority. The priority is getting someone that can score you 15, 20 goals a season and stay fit.
It's not the priority right now, but if we want to be a UCL caliber club, that will.
Yeah.
I'd rather address it now rather than later.
Yeah.
But
James and Hippie getting frustrated with Saint-Maximin. Maxi trying to win the game by himself, and then James going a bit more extreme. Maxi needs to go. Yeah, he's not having the best game, is he? God. Tiger going as far as to say the whole team needs changing apart from Bruno, Wilson, Trippier, Dubs, maybe Maxi. I wouldn't go that far. I think Matt Targett might deserve his place in the team as well, but yeah.
At least as a backup. At absolute bare minimum. He deserves to be the backup for a few years. How old is he? 26? He's not 30. I know that.
Yeah, and then City come on the counter-attack. I don't know where Dan Burn is, but he's nowhere to be found. Don't know where Saint-Maximin is. He's nowhere to be found. Chip ball in. Martin Dubravka doesn't shout for it, or if he does, Jamal Lascelles just ignores him, heads the ball up towards his own goal and puts it out for a corner. Miscommunication at the back. Players not trusting each other. Players not tracking back. It's a fucking shambles.
Yeah, Target's only 26. So that, to me, that's a...
That's why he put people on the posts. De Bruyne assist, Rodri header, front post run. No one tracks him. Heads it near post goal. That is the simplest.
All three of our goals were preventable.
The simplest set piece goal you will ever see. That is why you always have people on the posts. I don't know who the hell is supposed to be marking Rodri, but that is simple. That is disgraceful. That's Sunday League. It's not like it's taken quickly or rushed. He just breaks away from his man. Joe Linton challenges him for a header, but doesn't win it. It looks like Target's supposed to be marking him. Beats his man. Dubravka gets beaten at his near post. Yeah. Oh, it's Kraft, sorry, not Target. Kraft's man loses his man, gets 2 yards on him. Joe Linton loses his header, and it's a goal. I mean, that's just abysmal. That you know what that is? That's relegation form, that defending. That's what Leeds did earlier against Arsenal. That's the kind of defending that sees you get relegated.
Andy, I've been done with Lascelles for like a year and a half.
Yeah. He didn't do anything particularly wrong from the corner, but he did put it behind for the corner when his goalkeeper was there to just catch the ball. He didn't trust his goalkeeper.
Decision making.
Yeah.
Decision making.
He just panicked. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, goalkeeper again, though, near post. You know, he should have someone on the post for me, but it's not exactly a difficult shot to stop. It's not in the corner. You know, it's not flying past him at 100 miles an hour.
Why is Joe Linton just staring at De Bruyne? Like,
yeah.
Look to your left. Is that not in your peripheral?
It was a mix of zonal marking and man-to-man marking, and neither of it worked.
He won't play. Yeah, I don't think Lascelles is prime quality.
One of the teams that, like Sheffield United or Nottingham Forest or Huddersfield, if one of them doesn't, well, obviously one of them is not, but one of them that doesn't win the playoffs, I think that's the kind of club he'll end up at.
Yeah.
Like a team that's got aspirations of playing Premier League football, but realistically isn't there at the moment. You know, he came from Forest, so it would be, you know, he'd go back. He's still captain at the end of the day, which is amazing. That a player of that quality is captain.
He probably, out of all the players, he probably got Bruce the worst because he was getting England shouts before Bruce came in.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's gotten older, but goddamn.
Yeah. Gabriel Jesus being subbed off for Phil Foden here. He doesn't look happy about it. But yeah.
I mean, he missed 2 goals. If you had to pick a worst player for Man City, it would be him.
Yeah, and he will be beating himself up about that. Another player that I would happily take at Newcastle United next year because he seems to be out of the door at Man City. If we can get a good price for Gabriel Jesus, I'd be all over that. He's got a winning mentality.
100%.
He's a good goal scorer, although on today's form you wouldn't have guessed it. But yes, so it's now City playing without a recognised striker as they usually do. It looks like Phil Foden is the central of the 3. Is that all this? No, they've still got another sub left. Yeah, we said Fernandinho subbed on at halftime. We said, let's exploit that. We haven't been in their half to exploit it.
Where in the U.S. are you? New Hampshire. So the northeast of America. Eddie needs to make subs.
Yep.
Bring on Wilson and play 4-4-2 and take off Longstaff. Now, why not? I mean, to be honest, if you're going to experiment in a game, may as well be 3-0 down to Man City because they're going to want to keep their clean sheet. You know, you're probably not going to win. No, you're not going to win the game. Even a point would be a miracle. So may as well experiment. Or bring on one of the fucking kids.
Well, Jack's saying what I said at halftime. Bring on Wilson, play 4-4-2, take off Longstaff.
Yeah.
Why not? Risk it.
Experiment. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the bathroom very quick. I will be right back.
No worries. In the meantime, it's 64 minutes gone, 3-0 to Manchester City. It should realistically be about 7-2, but neither team taking their chances. Chris Wood had the ball in the back of the net early in the midway through the first half, but it was offside. Bruno Guimaraes standing in an offside position. Chris Wood should have also had the ball in the back of the net. Another time, a nice ball in from Saint-Maximin, and he didn't score it. Wilson stripped and ready to come on, finally. But if I know Eddie Howe, which I think, I like to think I do, I imagine Chris Wood is going to be hooked here. But I would like to see Howe switch the system up, but he probably won't. So we'll see. I'll bring you that as soon as we find out who he's actually going to come on for. Jason Tyndall currently talking to him. Trippier is going to come on as well, actually. So it's going to be a double substitution for the two players that have returned from injury today. So he's going to come onto the pitch. Be interesting to see where he comes on, actually, because Kraft's not had a bad game. I mean, he lost his marker for the corner, but I think he's been all right. You know, defensively, the problems have come on the other side predominantly. So it'll be interesting to see if we do switch formations. Will we move to a back five? Kraft has played centre back before, so will we move Kraft inwards and go to like a 5-2-3 with Bruno and Joe Linton in the middle, Wilson, Saint-Maximin, and Wood up top? Or will he just make it a straight swap? Ball in the box by City. That's a foul on the goalkeeper, surely. Oh, Sterling just comes in and clouts Dubravka, but the referee hasn't given it. But another refereeing decision not going our way. Shock, horror. Man City have the ball just on the edge of their own half here. No particular danger at the moment, but one pass can change all that. And Kevin De Bruyne is on it. No pressure on the ball whatsoever. And he will bring the ball forwards and offload it to Zinchenko. Yeah, we didn't get many score predictions in before the start of the game. And it's probably a good idea because Steve said 5-0. So I imagine there was a lot of pessimism in the chat before the game anyway. And there definitely will be now. But yeah, stick around later on as well, because even after the game's finished, we'll be bringing you the scoring the players with myself and Steve on a separate video. So if you're on this live stream and you're watching, you will need to tune in to the next one. We'll be finishing this one and then starting the next one after a short break. And then later on, we will have the fan reaction with Steve. So please get involved. Let us know your thoughts after today's game. It's 3-0 currently. Great save from Dubravka. Great save. Zinchenko with a sweeping left-footed strike that's flying into the top corner, the top half of the goal. But Dubravka reaction save tips it over the bar. That's what he's good at. That's what we need to see more of from him. But a shocking display from him really so far. 2 of the goals could have really been prevented by him if he was on the ball, but he's not. So, yeah, Jack, all that matters, we're safe from relegation. Yeah, it's nice to be safe from relegation, but it would also be nice to win a few games before the end of the season. We've got Arsenal and Burnley coming up before the end of the season. I'd like to see at least 3 points from those games. It would have been nice to not get battered today. So it is going to be Chris Wood coming off the pitch for Callum Wilson, and it is going to be Emil Kraft coming off for Trippier. So, like I said, Eddie Howe is not going to change the system, which I think is ridiculous. And he's getting some minutes for Kieran Trippier and Callum Wilson, who is, I don't know why he's brought Callum Wilson on as a lone striker, because he's not going to get any service. That's frustrating. I'd like to see Chris Wood and Callum Wilson play together. That's really frustrating. Eddie Howe making the decision to stick with the formation that we've got currently. A little bit of a scrap going on as Man City line up to take a corner. Dan Burn marking Laporte and ripping the shirt off his back. The referee spotted it and having a word, but not booking him because the ball wasn't in play. So he's just marking him very tightly. And there's 2 players for City who've gone to the ground now. The ball's not even in play. Trippier is being called over by the referee already. The ball's not even being in play. And Trippier's being called over by the referee, as is Jamal Lascelles and Fernandinho, the respective captains. Rodrigo's gone down holding his back. Like I said, the ball's not even being kicked in from the corner. And this player's falling over. Laporte first, now Rodri. Referees having words with both captains, Trippier and Dan Burn. And now he's going to let the corner be actually taken. I can smell a penalty probably given to Man City. Right. He's booked Dan Burn for pulling Rodri. He's booked Dan Burn for pulling Laporte down. The ball's not even been taken. Laporte's thrown himself to the ground. Now Burn has given the referee an absolute earful. God almighty. He's still marking Laporte tightly. The corner comes in eventually, and it's an absolutely abysmal delivery, and Almiron puts it behind for a corner. Dan Burn telling the referee what he thinks of him in colourful language, shall we say. I don't know how you're supposed to mark a corner without bumping into someone So Man City will still have a corner after about a 5-minute delay. They've taken the first one, but it's then being deflected for another corner. Referees watching that battle closely, so it wouldn't be surprising to see Man City just given a soft penalty because the referees bought everything they've done this game. Trippier switched markers to give Dan Burn a bit of respite. So Dan Burn marking Fernandinho there. Corner taken, is pushed back out, and then eventually trundles behind for a Newcastle United goal kick. 20 minutes to play, 3 goals down. Dan Burn booked following a bit of a scrap in the box. And Kieran Trippier and Callum Wilson both on the pitch now. No change of formation. So we'll see if anything changes, but I doubt it will. We will have the last word later on from the stadium. A few of the lads are at the game today, so they'll be driving back later on. Lee, obviously, with the last word and some thoughts from the stadium. So tune in for that later on, as well as scoring the players and the live reaction. Like I mentioned, it'll be nice to see and see. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit distracted because Jack Grealish has gone down again like he's been shot. But nothing doing. Sterling whips the ball into the box, and it's just badly defended yet again. So Man City still have the ball with Zinchenko on the left-hand side, 4 players around him. Now De Bruyne has it. You've not missed much, mate. De Bruyne whips the ball in. Oh, Dubravka nearly misreads it, nearly flies in. Kieran Trippier and
Wilson are on.
Wilson are on. Dan Burn was booked for a scrap with Laporte, but nothing changed really apart from that.
I didn't know Dan Burn had a missing ring finger either.
Yeah, he's only got 9 fingers, yeah. He lost it in an accident when he was a kid. So, yeah, he's only got 9 fingers and he still would take anyone in a fight. Yeah, Steve, I noticed this as well, Steve. Pathetic training. Defenders jumping in front of the goalkeeper when he comes to collect the pass. Yeah, when there's balls going into the box, we saw it with Lascelles, who gave away the corner for the 3rd goal. They don't trust the goalkeeper. They jump in front of him, putting him off, like unintentionally, obviously, but they're just not trusting the goalkeeper behind them.
Yeah,
so bad training and bad mentality from those defenders as well. Jamal Lascelles being the main culprit. Good interception from Kieran Trippier. Does offload the ball. Callum Wilson gets on the ball. He's actually got a touch, which I didn't think he would get, but then passes it immediately to Fernandinho because he only had Alan Saint-Maximin as an option. Tried to feed it through, but the pass wasn't very good, so gives it away immediately. Yeah, I said before they went off, when Wood and Kraft went off, I didn't think Eddie Howe would change the system. I said I wanted him to, but I said I didn't think he would, and he hasn't. It's just same play, it's same formation, it's the same rubbish. We're just walking around the pitch, not interested. You might as well blow the full-time whistle because it's not going to get any better for us. Oh, here comes Almiron. I say that. Good numbers getting forward here. Trippier, lovely ball in. Great defending. Fernandinho on Callum Wilson. Takes a blow to the face for his troubles. Great balling from Trippier. If you put a bit more power on it, Saint-Maximin was free at the back post, but it's an interception for Almiron in the first place. A loose pass from Laporte. He feeds Trippier. First time cross from Trippier. Great positioning from Wilson, who tries to get his foot on it when Fernandinho went with his head. Ball goes behind for a corner. So Trippier on the dead ball situation. We know he's got a good delivery from here. Dan Burn's a giant, and Fernandinho is obviously one of the centre-backs on the pitch now. Good ball in, floated. Back post, Lascelles heads down. Not enough power on it. Keeper saves well and tries to get Man City away at the other end with a long kick. Finds Phil Foden, who will try and bring it on the counter-attack. Matches up against Dan Burn. Offloads it to Sterling. Good tackle. So Joe Linton has the ball now. Nice Cruyff turn pass to Guimaraes, who gives it to Saint-Maximin, who then tries to beat 2 players and loses the ball. The linesman tried to give a throw-in, but the referee says that Saint-Maximin was fouled. My eyes, he wasn't fouled. He just goes to ground because he realises he's lost the ball. And then from the throw-in, from the free kick, rather, we immediately give the ball away. And here come Man City on the ball. Jack Grealish shoots, deflected, cleared, and... oh, that's bad. Sorry for my bitty commentary, but it's just pinball at the moment around the box. City still have the ball. Bruno tackles, though. Rodri wins it back, offloads it. Cancelo holds it up, whips it in, and it's cleared. Can Saint-Maximin get the ball before it goes out? He can. Is there any support for him? Wilson's ahead of him, asking for the ball. That's cynical. That is cynical. That's a yellow card for De Bruyne. I mean, Saint-Maximin's milked it. He's rolled about 5 times, but... yellow card for De Bruyne, obvious choice. Takes one for the team, didn't fancy his chances. Takes him out around the halfway line because he knew he was getting done for pace. So Maximin does his best to avoid the challenge there, but De Bruyne with a rugby tackle to bring him down. Oh, Saint-Maximin's down holding his back here. I don't know if he's just milking it for the referee's attention or if he's actually hit. That's Kevin De Bruyne's first booking of the season. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I know he's not a very defensive player, but for anyone to play as many games as he has and avoid bookings, then... So play's going to resume here after the free kicks being taken. Looks like Trippier's stood over this one. I've thrown some of the big men forward. It looks like its target is the only man staying back. City holding a very high line, as they tend to do with these set pieces. I don't know what the hell that is. The set piece, I don't know if it was a set piece routine. He's tried to feed in Wilson wide, and it's just not come off. So City will have the ball to come away with now. What have you made of the game so far then, Steve?
ASM is a good roller. He's good at that. It's funny because whenever a player actually gets injured and they have to get subbed off, I don't think there's ever been once that I've seen a player hurt their leg, especially, and be able to roll. I just find it very strange why he does that and other players do that. I just think you look like a fucking idiot.
Saint-Maximin, every time he gets on the ball, he's not looking to pass the ball. He's looking to beat his man. And I appreciate that he can do that and he is good at that. But at the same time, we've just given the ball away and now we've given a free kick away because Saint-Maximin tries to beat a man rather than just a simple 3-yard pass. There's no need for him to try and beat his man every time.
But his comments are out of context.
Honest to God.
I understand he's not playing with a world-class 11. That I agree with them on that. But like, what the fuck?
Yeah. About 13 minutes left of normal time here. City just passing the ball around like it's just men against boys.
To be honest, he doesn't deserve to start against Arsenal on the 16th.
No, I
wouldn't start him.
I mean, we saw earlier today Arsenal versus Leeds. Arsenal marked Rafinha out the game, and with some great pressing, and he's arguably better than Alan Saint-Maximin. Wilson's done well to flick it on for Saint-Maximin here, though. Does pass it this time, but it's a ridiculously difficult pass to pick up on. We do still have the ball. He tries to cross it in, but it's blocked by the first man, Grealish. And now Target decides he wants to play a bit of WWE with Sterling, and City come away with the ball. Grealish has got Foden ahead of him, gives him the ball now. Foden's got two men on him, dances past both of them and offloads it to Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, Larry, that's exactly what he needs to do. And we've seen it time and time again with other players, like Bruno in the first
triangles.
City do it like every other pass. And he needs
Man
to learn.
City players do not take more than 5 seconds on the ball. They at most it's 3 if it's, you know, if they're running at pace with the ball, they'll even look for a pass. So yeah. I mean, they're quick with their decisions. And that's what Bruno does. He's quick. He's quick with his passing and his decision making. And ASM he's been dreadful today.
Yeah.
Fucking dreadful. Oh
my
God.
Oof. Bruno getting a bit aggy with Gundogan there, but he's done well to survive the game on a yellow card as Bruno. Jacob Murphy's going to be coming on now, and it's for Miguel Almiron, which is an interesting decision given that Almiron's better defensively. So Eddie Howe seemingly thinking that there's something in this game. Don't know what you can say about that. Adam, ASM gets nowhere. Excuse me. Just how good the game's been. I'm yawning. ASM gets nowhere near the Man City starting 11, let alone the Ballon d'Or. Squad. Yeah, I mean, there's kids on the bench that have got more of a chance playing than he does at this rate. We compared him to Mahrez at the start of the game. Mahrez obviously not even getting the chance to get on the pitch today. But like you said, Sterling better for England than he is for his club. And yet he pops up with a goal when he needs it. You know, he's not had the best game. He was in the right position at the right time. He's not trying to take on 10 men with every ball. And, just ridiculous. Yeah, Sam Mulliner, obviously of the Greenwood and Mulliner fame, is texting the group chat. If someone other than Grealish was playing, it would be 6 or 7-0. And yeah, I think that's fair comment. Or if Jesus could get on the end of the balls across the box. I don't understand.
Pick a number, any number.
I don't get where the intensity of the first 5-10 minutes has gone. I know you can't sustain it for the 90 minutes, but we've not seen any pressing in the second half.
Well, it's because every goal, it's like, I don't know, they just don't bother. I don't know.
Bruno did very well to hold the ball up there and almost fed through Jacob Murphy.
Bruno's been one guy who doesn't matter what the score is. He keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruno's been fantastic yet again today, and God almighty, if we didn't have him, I'd dread to think where we would be. Foden has it inside the box. Grealish is going to take on Kieran Trippier here, two that know each other well from the England camp.
Wonderful point from Larry. The 1-2s also allow you to skip lines of the defense. If Maxi can receive the ball further forward, you only need to beat 1 or 2 defenders. That's more effective than trying to beat 3 or 4 men from deep, from further back.
Yeah.
So, and that's how some of our goals this year have been ASM's trying to take on 3 fucking guys in midfield. Easy turnover, he walks back.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily, he's not tracked back today, but he's not given the ball away and conceded as many chances as he usually does. But he has not tracked back well, and he's not created much. You can see it created 2 good chances in the first half, and that's pretty much been it.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be worse. You're absolutely right, Hippie. Could be worse. We almost had a relegation battle on our hands. We could be Leeds, could be Everton, could be Burnley, but we're not, luckily, thank God. But yeah, we could be worse, but it could also be a lot better. 4-0 a few months ago with Matt Ritchie and Jacob Murphy as your starting fullbacks, and it's 3-0 with still time remaining. That's not an improvement for me. Squad's improved. Performance has not improved.
I said to you before the game, are we going to get an improved performance? Yeah, probably not.
Callum Wilson's in. Oh, good save. The camera angle was a bit dodgy there, but there was a long ball, I think, from Dubravka. Wilson holds off Rodri, feeds Jacob Murphy beautifully, and then we mentioned the 1-2s. Wilson, Murphy runs, doesn't even take a touch. One ball in behind, he gets a 1-on-1. I'll forgive
Jacob
Wilson.
Murphy, and that's Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, and I will forgive Wilson for missing because he's lacking match fitness, and it is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. It's a poor finish; he should be doing better. But I will forgive him for missing. But that is exactly the kind of play we need to be doing to get in behind this team. Trippier whips a ball in, flicked on. Sam Maximan's got it inside the box here. What will he do with it? He's going to take it wide, shoots, blazes it over the bar. Don't mind him taking that on, though. Don't mind him taking that on at all. It was a good chance. I'd have liked to see him maybe go to the touchline and cut it back rather than shoot. But, we can't begrudge him an actual good opportunity rather than forcing something that wasn't there.
To be fair, I don't know if that was a poor finish from Callum Wilson because sometimes Ederson does get beat through his legs. So...
But it was a good movement, regardless of the finish. Great movement from Wilson. Great good vision from Jacob Murphy as well.
Right.
And the first time we've exploited, 7 minutes left on the clock, the first time we've exploited Fernandinho's lack of mobility.
Yeah. Look, I don't mind supporting ASM and stuff, but just like I'm going to use the father and son argument again, or the comparison. I want to be I am optimistic about ASM and think he's got tons of talent, but like, he deserves to be criticized. He deserves to be criticized. That's all.
Yeah. No, and I agree. I'm confident Maxi will find a rhythm if he does play for us next season. I expect him to improve, but we can support him, but we can also criticize him. And like today's performance, he's created 2 good chances today. I will give him that.
Wood should have buried one of them, so a little more credit in the bank. Sure.
But defensively, he's not tracked back, and then the rest of his attacking game has been abysmal. He's trying to take on too many players at once when he could just give it to something. He's got Bruno and Joe Linton next to him at all times. He's always got another option on, and he just seems to
play it up to Callum Wilson. He just made a run with Jacob Murphy. 1-2s. I mean, fuck's sake, it's yeah. Yeah.
5
yes,
minutes
the
left.
criticism is fair. I understand.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a poor performance. I don't think this poor performance is down to Howe's tactics. The lads look flat, almost like they packed it in for the season.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. It's been a long season. And, we've come from 0 points to 40 odd. And they deserve a well-earned break. But I'd like to see them keep going to the end of the year. Arsenal and Burnley, that should be 3 points in there. Probably Burnley, but Arsenal are prone to a bad result. They put on a good performance against Leeds today, but
I still don't think Arteta is a very good manager. I think he's he's fortunate in a sense because he's taking he took the Arsenal job when they finished 8th and he won them a cup and that's good. That's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, great tackle from Lascelles, to be fair. That should have been 4-0. Foden fed really nice inside the box when Lascelles stretched to tackle him. Lascelles hasn't had a good game, but that was a nice tackle. I'll give him that. De Bruyne forcing the issue there, gives it to Sterling, who feeds it inside to Foden. It was Lascelles' man in the first place that he let go, but it was a good recovery challenge.
Would I start Maxi against Arsenal?
No.
He deserves to get dropped.
I think we've got enough options. I would start with 2 up top. If Wilson's fit to start, I would start with Wood and Wilson.
Yep.
Personally, depends on the formation we play. If we play a back 5, then we still stick with the midfield 3. But Eddie Nketiah is in good form. Gabriel Martinelli's in good form. Saka consistently in good form. Martin Odegaard is. Just watching that game today, it was just a pleasure to watch Martin Odegaard play. That's a lot of attacking talent, so we're going to need to be on the ball defensively in that game as well as this one. Grealish dribbles it out of play and kicks the ball away like the little brat that he is. Personally, I wouldn't start Maxi. And you know what? And while it is dropping him, he's also a good impact player. He's the kind of player you can bring on against tired legs, and he will have an impact because when he takes players on, he's more likely to have that extra half a yard of pace because when he comes off the bench because he's played less minutes. So yeah, I would, and give other people a chance as well. We're coming to the end of the season. We're coming to a transfer window. Give people a chance to fight for the shirt. Yeah, playing for nothing. Players probably think the same, but I'm not watching the game for nothing. You're not watching the game for nothing. People around the world watching Newcastle aren't watching for nothing. Fans who go to the Etihad aren't watching for nothing. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a goal. It has to be a goal. Great work from Jacob Murphy. Fed Saint-Maximin. Did really well to beat his man. Cuts it back. Bruno's still on it. Bruno! Oh, still in. Still unplayed. We still got a chance here. Oh, come on, Bruno. Got to do better than that. We should have scored. Callum Wilson just lets the ball run under his foot. It's unlucky. And then Joe Linton just runs past him. That's a yellow card for Target. He's decided twice now to just throw Raheem Sterling onto the ground. That's cynical from Target. He's clearly frustrated, perhaps with the lack of cover. But yeah, really nice play from Jacob Murphy, though. That's 2 chances he's created. He's created the same amount of chances as Saint-Maximin now.
I like that for Target because they've been flopping around like bunch of fucking babies this whole game, so he'll give them something to cry about, to be fair. So damn it. Oh,
just be careful. We need to be careful not to get a red card here because Target or Bruno would be a big miss, and Dan Burn, to be fair. I'm not sure we can play Elliot Anderson in the next game because obviously he's on loan at Bristol Rovers, but their season has finished. I'm not sure when that contract officially ends. Because I think
probably June 30th.
I was going to say because just in case they made the playoffs, I imagine it was a longer contract.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be eligible.
Del Tor, I forget his name.
Yeah.
The kid who's been getting on the bench for us recently.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice ball. Sean alive to it though. Good interception, and Jacob Murphy comes away. Oh. Wilson made a nice run, but then stopped because he was offside, and Murphy tried to play him through too late, and it's Man City's ball. Oh, 30 seconds left, and it can't be over quick enough. So the way it's going to work today, guys. The way it's going to work today. So once this. Oh God, that's 4-0. Is Foden onside? It looks like it. 4-0. Can't tell if that was a scuffed shot or a pass, but to feed Foden, I don't know if he's either miles offside or miles onside. I can't tell. I think Zinchenko's arguing with Cancelo here over why he didn't pass to him. But yeah, 4-0, Phil Foden, easy as you like. That comes down the right-hand side on Trippier's side. He tries to, Grealish beats him hands down for pace, which gets past him. Lascelles gets drawn across. There's no defensive cover. And yeah, it's Zinchenko that either scuffs a left-footed shot or plays a left-footed pass into the feet of Foden, who is literally 3 yards out to tap it in. So yeah, defense was all over the place there. Trippier obviously showing his age, lack of legs, keeping up with Grealish, who's played 90 minutes. And then it's as easy as you like for Phil Foden to tap in. Zinchenko assist. And that's game. 1 minute left. 4-0. So, 4-0 earlier in the season. 4-0 now. No improvement in performance.
None at all. None at all.
City go back at the top of the league, 3 points clear after Liverpool drop points. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, sorry. So what I was trying to say before they ruined the party, I'd say the party, but so we'll be on air here on this live stream for about 10 more minutes till about 7:30. Then we're going to take a short break and then we'll be back at 6:45 with scoring the players for half an hour, and then we'll have the fan reaction at 7:15. So if you want to get your thoughts live on Newcastle Fans TV, then join us at 7:15. But it'd be nice if you stuck with us all the way through. And don't forget, if you have enjoyed the stream, regardless of the result, please drop a like on the video. It helps us out massively. See if we can get a lot of likes on the video, and subscribe to the channel as well, because believe it or not, we do like it when you subscribe. We do have a lot of content for you. We've got the videos that I mentioned already. And of course, we'll have the last word on videos from the ground later on this evening. So stick around for that as well. Kevin De Bruyne getting man of the match for he's had the most assists, passes, and contributions for chances created.
Can you explain yourself, Steve McGarry? Like, what do you mean? Is not a better defender than what we had already? I'm
sorry, he gets beaten for pace by oh god, 5-0. Doesn't celebrate. Wasn't even watching. And I just turn around and then it's just two passes. The midfield's disappeared in the last 5 minutes. The defense is all over the place, but the midfield haven't even tried to cover them. Steve, you must be on the wind-up now because you've said he's worse than Yedlin. I'm sorry, but he's an England international for a reason. Yes, he lacked a bit of pace for that goal. I'm just watching this goal now. Grealish again. Jamal Lascelles gets sucked over. Back heel from Foden. Grealish feeds in Sterling, and then that's Sterling.
If that's your opinions, I need you to elaborate for me. He's played 6 games for us. 6.
Well, that's technically a worse result than we had against City the first game, and which I keep on mentioning. We had Jacob Murphy and Matt Ritchie as fullbacks. 5-0, and that's shocking. Disgraceful. Let us know. Sum up that game in 3 words or less in the comments down below, because I can't pick the adjective to describe that performance. Capitulation is the one that I'd go for. Somehow ended 5-0. Could have been double digits for City, really, if we're being honest.
3 words, waste of time.
Yeah. Jamal Lascelles, not his best game in black and white, not his worst by a far, far stretch, but players just losing their heads, seem to be on the beach already. Eddie Howe, visibly furious with that after the full-time whistle's gone.
Get Howe out. See, I'm not
so we know Steve's a Sunderland fan here, winding us up in the comments.
Oh, he is? What?
Yeah, well, I can only guess from the comments that he's being said, but you cannot be a Newcastle fan and say get Howe out after you're more than entitled to your opinion, but that is just simply a wrong opinion.
Hippie, well, thanks for the stream. Hey, no problem, Hippie. 3:30 a.m. in Australia.
Thanks for tuning in, and if you don't stay up to watch the videos later on tonight, make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe. I mean, you probably already subscribed. I see you on here all the time, but yeah, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Same goes for everyone else here. Please drop a like on the video. I think we're at just over 50, so if we can get that to 60 before 7:30, that would be great. It just takes a couple of you to drop a like. Yeah, 5-0. Not a fantastic day for Newcastle.
I don't think Steve McGarry, that's the Steve he's referencing.
Hopefully that's the Steve, because I was going to say this Steve watches more football than any person I know. So 5-0 at the end of the day. Not a good performance. A good first 10 minutes and flashes of, I was going to say brilliance, but not even brilliance. Flashes of good football from Jacob Murphy, of all people, and Callum Wilson when he came on. Sam Maximan, a rough day at the office for him. Bruno Guimaraes consistently good in the midfield, but not helped out by the players around him. Joe Linton and Sean Longstaff, obviously Sean fighting for another contract as well. Not his greatest performance. Zinchenko getting a bit emotional as he walks off the pitch here. City, brilliant. Newcastle, abysmal. We were expecting this. I said before the stream, whenever City lose, they come back and they absolutely tear to shreds the next.
I said 5.
You said 5. No, you can gloat. You got the score prediction right. But yes, flat performance from the lads today, and just tactically got it all wrong. Absolutely exposed in the wide areas. Disappointing for all the fans that have travelled down there. But Arsenal next in the league. Burnley on the final day of the season will be hoping to take at least 3 points from those 2 games. City go back top. We stay, I think it's 14th, 13th. We stay 13th on what is the worst goal difference outside of the bottom 3. Excellent. -20. We've conceded 60 goals this year. Only 4 teams have conceded more. 61 after that 5th one went in. So joint 4th worst with Southampton, who have also conceded 61. So we're
still 28 less than Bordeaux have in 1 less game. So we could be worse. Could
be a lot better though. Could be a lot.
Oh yeah,
better.
and look. Immediately, my thoughts after the game are, we're 5 years away from even touching a side like Man City. To me, in my opinion, I think Eddie Howe could do that, but for all the people thinking that, if Eddie, I'm sure some people are like, if he doesn't get top 4 next year, Eddie Howe is to get fired. No, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. I'm not saying we can't. I mean, it's possible. Leicester won the fucking league. But if we're realistic about it, it's going to take 5-6 years to be on the level of these guys.
Yeah.
To be honest. Because just watch the game, man. What player makes that combined 11? Trippier has a case for...
if Cancelo plays left back, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm willing to be patient with it because, again, I would much rather, be building towards something with younger and inexperienced players, but they've got potential. So
good comment from George. Never changed tactics. We gave up no support for whoever went up front. Yeah, Wood did well in the first half to hold the ball up and try and get players involved, but there was no support, and Wilson struggled even more because he's less of a physical presence. And Eddie Howe refused to change the tactics in the second half. When those subs were coming on, I said, maybe we go to a back 5. Kraft's played centre-back. He's not bad there. We'll move Trippier onto a right-back. Then we've got more cover defensively. He didn't do that. I thought he'd play 2 strikers up top. He didn't do that either. We created 1, maybe 2 chances while we stuck to that formation in the second half. And we also conceded 2 avoidable goals in the last 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. I know it's Man City. I know they're probably one of the best teams in the world. But you can't put performances like that in, regardless of whether you're safe from relegation or not. You can't perform like that and expect to go up the table. We're currently in 13th. I can't see us finishing any higher than that this year after a result like that. If you're going to perform like that against even Arsenal, looking at Arsenal earlier today and looking at the way Man City played today, Arsenal probably would have scored 4 or 5 as well. So we've got to worry about that next week. And then Burnley are fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table. We could well end this season on 3 consecutive defeats.
Yeah. Which doesn't accurately summarize what Eddie Howe's done for us. And so we want to end off on a good note. So that's my thing. But yeah.
Yeah, last home game of the season next week, and then obviously ending the season with an away day at Burnley. Let us know in the comments your predictions for how many points we're going to get in the last couple of games. If you haven't already, please do drop a like on the video. We're at 55 now, so 5 more, the same amount of goals that City can score in 90 minutes. We can get 5 likes in 2 minutes. That would be great to take us to the 60 mark. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed the watch along despite the result. We will be back in around 15 minutes time with scoring the players. So do join us. Let us know your scores in the comments down below with that one. I'm sure we'll have plenty of debate for who's the lowest score today. I'm not sure anyone's going to get not sure anyone's going to get any high ratings there. And after that, we will have the live fan reactions. So stay tuned for all of that here on Newcastle Fans TV. We want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, we will have the last word coming from the stadium later on this evening. But for now, we're going to say goodbye and we'll see you in around 15 minutes time.